start. I told Mon he's late. I don't really remember working with Mon, but I can imagine he was probably late to every meeting that he had. I want to like have this like actually scheduled because it gives us a reason to get on, you know?
Yep.
We can plan for it. I already told Ashley I was going to play with y'all tonight.
That's what Chris and Pat do. I mean, we've been playing a lot of Call of Duty lately, but like before that, they would play every Monday night. They play Fortnite.
Yeah. I played that with them last night. It was fun.
Mm. My mom used to make pork chops for us as kids.
Yeah.
And I used to just think it was like trash food.
Oh,
like,
what?
Meredith be making these pork chops. They're like steaks.
Yeah, their pork chops are amazing. I actually really like pork tenderloin. That's my favorite. And it's kind of, I mean, you have to season it and stuff, but it's pretty easy to make. You just put it in the oven and it comes out all tender and delicious. I've been making a lot of bacon lately too, like turkey bacon and a little bit of like pork bacon every couple of weeks.
We like our bacon. We like bacon, but we always we try to get the sugarless bacon, which is actually hard to find and expensive.
Huh.
They put sugar in bacon, and I don't know why.
Give it that sweet and salty.
Yeah, we eat a lot of we get these like little sausages, like breakfast sausages that are, I think they're turkey sausages. They're pretty good, and they're like supposed to be healthy. We have a breakfast every day.
Yeah.
Hash browns, peppers, bell peppers.
Have you always done that, or is that just since the quarantine?
No, we started doing that when we started doing Whole30.
Okay.
Because we were trying to find breakfast without sugar in it. We made this breakfast without sugar in it, and it was bomb.
Do you eat fruit?
We did it fruit when we, not for like breakfast, but yeah, we eat. Yeah, we eat fruit, goofy.
Or is it all sugar? You're like, no more fruits, please. I'm drinking some fine wine over here. Drinking my that's sugar, right?
Yeah, I think wine has sugar. I'm not sure. I don't.
Getting drunk on a Wednesday.
We're not on Whole30 anymore. But when we did do Whole30, that's where we came up with this breakfast, because it's hash browns with no sugar in them, which is actually hard.
Yeah.
Hash browns, they put sugar in hash browns for some reason too. And then bell peppers and these little sausages that we cut up, and sometimes we put mushrooms in it. And what else we got? I think that's like the main ingredients. We add stuff and take stuff away. Like sometimes we put something in, sometimes we don't. And then put two like soft, like over easy eggs on top. And a bunch of Frank's hot sauce. Now you're talking.
Ooh, does that have sugar in it?
Mm-mm. That's why I went back to it. A lot of hot sauces do, but Frank's is like the one that doesn't have any sugar in it.
That's kind of surprising.
Oh, I love that shit. Oh, and then some avocados on there. It's so good.
Some potatoes. Is that what you said?
Avocados.
Oh.
Don't put potatoes on top of the hash browns.
Potatoes. Let's see. I'm gonna do something tricky right here. I invited Sam too. I don't know if he's gonna get on, but he's always a delight. Oh shit!
A turd.
Whoa!
How do you tell with turn left? Honey, get the fuck out of here.
I just planned it so good.
Get his little red card.
I needed that money. But have you seen Zach very much, or is he kind of... Is he working in the ER or anything?
Yeah, he's still working at the hospital, but like... not as much as he used. He actually got kind of freaked out by this coronavirus thing, so he hasn't been taking as many shifts as he used to.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of weird to me how freaked out he is about it. I don't think they educate them very much, as dumb as that sounds. He literally, I feel like he's learned everything he knows about the coronavirus from like his coworkers, but not like they never had like a sit down. You know what I'm saying? Like an educational session where it's like, this is what it is. This is how you catch it. This is like what kind of risk you're at. Like this is the type of people that die from it. You know, like.
Right.
He's actually kind of freaked out about it, and like, cause I didn't believe him at first. Like when I found out he wasn't taking as many shifts, I thought it was cause Emily was making more money now. And he's like, no, dude. He's like, I don't want to be in there. It's fucking people who die from that shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. So there was a head of the ER or something in New York who killed herself recently because of how many people have died in their ER.
Oh no shit. The funny thing is we put Zach in that video when we were basically saying like, thanks for sacrificing and doing what you do, and like he's like the one nurse I know that's like, I don't want to work. I'm only working enough so that they don't fire me.
I'm gonna force him into doing more. I have the Monopoly board game and the Hasbro pack installed too, so you guys play those. I'm good to play this.
Oh shit!
Uh-oh.
I not mean to do
You
that.
done fudged up.
Hey, Ollie, you kind of defeat the purpose of us all being on by being on your phone.
Yeah, Lee.
Did you guys
Oh,
make
whoa,
up
you
yet?
heard us. What's up?
Did you guys make up yet for all the things Cody said about you when you were mad at us?
Yeah, I was actually blaming you.
Yeah,
He
right.
said, Ali took my phone and he said, I'm gonna get Jash so good.
Secret Alliance.
Secret alliance?
Yeah, man.
Why do y'all have a secret alliance? I always feel like the three of you have a text group that I'm not in where you talk about me.
No, just me and Josh. Okay. Are you streaming right now?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
I have to
I
capture
gotta
these
go.
golden moments.
I'm not gonna say what I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say.
Oh. Oh.
Okay.
You can change your
man.
mic settings so it doesn't, you're not on it.
No,
I don't
do
have
that.
anything to say.
Oh, okay. I think we were talking about Sam.
No, I literally was just curious.
That fucking boomer. He's watching me right now.
I've had fucking longest goddamn calls today. It's been annoying.
It sounds like you were on like a 4-hour call.
Dude,
You?
I was, and I was like, I'll call my parents real quick, see how they're doing.
Yeah.
And then just kept talking. And I always feel bad, like, trying to hang up on them.
Where are your parents at right now?
They're in Denver.
Okay.
D-Town.
D-Town.
Stand up.
L-Town. They're not in London, foggy London town?
Nah. They ain't.
Actually,
I
maybe
got
so.
a...
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying I got a fucking Foreman grill because I don't want to use
Hell
the
yeah.
grill outside.
That's a boss move. Drain out
Yeah.
that chicken fat.
Yeah, I try to defrost some chicken. I usually eat only fresh, but I had no choice, and it's still defrosting, which is annoying.
We were talking about how good pork chops are.
Ollie don't eat pork.
Yeah, I don't fuck with that.
Not even the chops? I don't
Not
believe
even-
I don't.
Dude, there's this girl, one of my good friends' girlfriends. Me and my ex-girlfriend, funny enough, we were out in Vail with them, and she didn't eat pork either, but she was like white girl. That had nothing to do with like the way she was raised. And we were at this pizza place and we are trying to decide on which pizzas to get. And I was like, "Oh, you guys can order whatever. Like, we'll just probably order one without like meat or maybe without pork or whatever." And they're like,
Yeah.
"Wait, you don't eat pork?" And we are like, "Yeah, no, it's just I was, I'm not like religious or anything, but I was raised not eating it." So I was like, I'm just not used to it, and it's like something I really don't care to eat because it's like whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then she just wouldn't drop it. She's like, "Wait, so you don't eat ham?" And I was like, "No, I don't eat pork." And then she's like, "Wait, but do you eat bacon?" And I was like,
Oh
"Dude,
my
this is
God.
all the same fucking thing." And she's like, "What about pepperoni?" And I was like, "Dude, I told you I don't fucking eat it." And it's like one of those things, like, at that moment, I was like, imagine if I said I don't drink alcohol. Like, how weird would this be? Because then it would be really weird. Like, I don't give a fuck if someone's asking me why I don't drink pork or eat pork, but like, if I didn't drink alcohol for a reason and someone was like, "Why don't you drink? You don't drink gin? You don't drink vodka? You don't drink
What
beer?"
about beer?
I'd be like, "Shut the fuck up, you stupid bitch. I'm gonna fucking kill you."
Yeah.
It was like funny as shit because like me and my girlfriend at the time didn't eat it, and we are just like, "What is this wrong with this girl?" But then she like kept going down the like things I didn't even know had fucking pork in it. She's like, "What about fucking bologna?" And I was like, "Dude,
Mortadella.
why are we even talking about this at a pizza restaurant?"
She's like, what about salami? Pepperoni? Canadian bacon?
She brought up sausage. She brought up God knows what else. I was just like, dude, I don't know how to answer this.
Yeah. I'll be honest, like, pork is usually the last meat that I try to eat, but I was telling Josh that lately I've been buying, like, bacon in my Instacart orders, and then, like, once a week, like, usually on Sundays, I eat a little bit of bacon, because it's good. But that shit is so salty, you can't eat a lot of that stuff. It is not good for you.
I eat a lot of turkey bacon, though.
Yeah,
Like, a lot.
I made that today. I like turkey bacon. It's definitely not the same, but
Oh, yeah,
It's good.
definitely not. I just make it so crispy that it's, like, more of a texture thing than it is, like, it's salty. Like, I don't know.
a salty
me-
little surprise.
So I've been making a lot of breakfast burritos. I think I sent you guys pics.
Yeah,
But
you do.
I've been doing like, turkey bacon, egg and cheese, and then I'll do like a potato, avocado, egg and cheese, and I like kind of prefer avocado than meat in a breakfast burrito because it adds like this kind of like freshness to it as opposed to like when you have meat and you have cheese and you have eggs,
Well,
it's
yeah,
like
you
too
get
like
tired.
proteiny. Yeah, it's too like similar.
It's too fatty, if anything. Like, the avocado's like a healthy fat, so it adds something to it without... So it's like filling without being, like, weighing you down, you know? I've been drinking these coconut cold brew things, but I drink them on, like, an empty stomach, and then I just immediately have the fat poops. You know what I'm talking about? Where it's just, like,
Coconut.
yellow.
Coconut.
Yeah, if you eat too much fat, your bones out like yellow.
What are you talking about?
Check it out. Read it on the internets.
Coconut woman.
Coconut
Does that mean
woman,
your body's like not digesting the fat and
It's just
going through?
yeah. Too much fat.
That's
you need
cool.
fiber
Sounds like
with
you are
it.
blessed.
You need to eat like. Why hit my Is that a blessing?
Yeah.
I just eat a lot of fat and shit it out. It's not sticking to these bones.
Because wasn't there like a diet pill a while ago that people used that basically they advertised it by saying you could eat whatever you want because your body just doesn't absorb the fat because of this pill you take,
Ugh.
but it basically made everyone have the shits all the time, but it worked because it just let your fat pass through you.
That's horrible. That's just science. How come they can make that, but they can't stop my hair loss?
Dude, okay, so that's funny that you say that because I was starting to come to grips with like, do I really want to be on finasteride or Propecia for the rest of my life? And being in this quarantine, I was like, what if I just shave my not shave my head, but like buzz my head? But then I started thinking about it, I was like, my hair, not that it's like that cool, is like a big part of my look.
My
I feel like.
identity.
I don't
wear
know
a
if I can be
toupee.
one of those guys. You gotta be one of those guys who like just like is really fucking in shape to pull off like a goddamn
I mean, that's why I would
ball.
try to work out now, because if you're bald and skinny, that's a bad look, my friend. You
What's
gotta have
a
a
bad
little
look?
bit of being bald and
Oh, bald
skinny.
and
You gotta
skinny.
have a little bit of muscle to pull it off. And the front of my
Yeah,
hair is getting thinner and thinner all the time, so I'm not trying to eventually have to shave my head and be pale and skinny. I'll look sick.
Look like a little gopher.
Look like I'm getting out of the hospital.
I can't. I'm afraid of going bald because I have a weird shaped head. I got like a point in the middle of my head.
I knew
Dude,
it.
that's-
I knew you were a cone head.
I feel like I have a. Yeah, I definitely do. I'm feeling it right now. I've been wearing a ton of hats though, and it's like I never wore hats. Really, I have a ton of hats, but I think that might have to be my thing. Like I might have to be that guy who wears like hats.
Oh
Like Lee
no, that's depressing.
But what do you do in like in situations where you have to like not wear a hat? You just like all right,
You just stop wearing a hat and people think you look like a fucking clown.
yeah.
You got to get married right now. You got to lock it down because you ain't gonna find women no more.
No, I think it's I don't know. 'Cause I haven't been as good with-
I don't think as many women has problem with bald dudes as people think, but I could be
More
wrong.
of a
about
guy thing. Guys are more worried about it.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's like your identity. You stop feeling young.
I
I just
wanna
don't want to
feel
go. I just don't want to
youth.
go like ugly bald, you know, like where you try to
Yeah.
hang on to it too long and you just got a bunch of really
Ooh,
thin
I like
hairs.
that.
Oh, like Mark Hertwick. You remember him?
Yeah.
Dude, he had like, yeah, I was like, does this guy own a mirror? Because like, I hope I don't look like that. I don't know. I think at one point I did look that bad though because I was just not being real with myself. And then that was before I got on the Propecia.
But Propecia doesn't make your hair grow back, does it?
Yeah, it
It's-
can.
It
It
did
can.
with me.
It's better if you start using it before it's gone, but it can help you grow your hair back. Yeah.
I always thought it just preserved whatever you had. My brother
No,
started
it'll-
taking it, and he.
It'll slowly grow back, but also prevent it from going away. What did your brother do?
He started taking it, but it kind of didn't. It helped a little bit, but his hairline's still pretty far back.
Yeah, I mean, it's the earlier the better, because like otherwise you're like, you know, you can. It takes a while to like stop, and then at that point it'll start to get better. Like it's not like an overnight thing. Like it takes like weeks of taking it for it to make a difference.
Years. By the time you 80, your hair is gonna come right back. Huh. Ali, you need
Huh.
to get set up on Fortnite again. That shit's fun these days.
By the time I get it sorted out, I bet you. won't be playing
I was
again.
thinking about it. I bet they've got a new process. You know what I mean? There's no way that you would still be locked out. If they can
You know,
do
like-
like an insane production with like Travis Scott, they should be able to like get people back into their accounts.
I don't know, man. My only worry with it is like I'm like, oh, I know it's gonna happen. I'm gonna fucking the PS5 is gonna come out and there's gonna be no good games and I'm gonna end up buying it and everyone's gonna be playing fucking Fortnite and I won't be able to fucking play it because it's tied to my PlayStation account. You know what I mean?
Resolve it now.
Not bad.
Fortnite 2 on the PS5. I got the hiccups. Ooh, I ate too fast. I'm drinking some fine wine.
Fine wine. Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum.
We a million?
Whoa, Japan is considering scrapping the Olympics.
I thought they already did that.
No,
No,
they
like
pushed it out,
canceling.
but they didn't cancel it.
Oh, I thought they fucking canceled it. Like, I could have sworn I saw something, but it was like a meme, so I didn't know if it was...
I don't know about that.
Oh my gosh, come on! This is ridiculous!
This is why you wanted to play this, because you want to dominate the competition.
Oh, Pollo Loco's over here.
Oh, I
Posting,
literally just saw that. Everyone's like, amazing!
Oh, no, that was just Liz. Amazing! Wow! With 2 W's.
I mean, I'm honestly pretty impressed by that.
Yeah, it was really good. Lipinski.
This video of the 2 people in Walmart wearing red bandanas. And he throws up the blood sign and the lady is like, okay.
Saw that. He goes, so blood? And she's like, oh, hi. How are you?
Gang gang.
Gang gang. It's like gang gang shit. Josh, you still going into work, dude?
No, we've been working from home for a while.
Oh, I thought, well, for some reason you were not working, or you were working from home.
No, we've been working from home. We were working from home until the city reopens. The city's closed until May 8th.
Oh shit.
April. Yeah. So we closed, son. And we'll probably be one of the first companies back, to be honest. Or, you know, like, we'll go back on the day it opens, my guess is, because my CEO's, like...
Yeah, you guys can't come out with that video and then be like, we're gonna stay closed.
Right.
I feel like when my company opens, I'm gonna be like, I'm still working from home.
What is happening?
Yeah, we've been filling out these surveys, like our HR lady's been sending us surveys about stuff to see if we're okay and all that kind of baloney. And the latest one was like, "What do you think we could have learned from this experience?" And I was like, "That working from home is okay."
Yeah, seriously.
Because we, like, the last place I worked, we had 2 days a week from home that we worked, and in the summers we had Fridays, like half days or something, or off. I can't remember. And no, half days on Fridays. So like going here where we have no work from home days kind of sucks. What are you trying to do, Indy?
Break up the set.
Oh. Break it up. Let's see. Oh, I can't go anymore. God damn it.
Oh,
yeah,
silly bitches.
I think working from home is like definitely one of those things that oh, what's this video you sent me? 80% curl. I'm just such a weirdo. Where do you find this shit? Is this your primary account now?
Which? No, it was an accident. I meant to send it to you guys from my account, and I was on CZiga. I was like, fuck. What did you think of those Animal Crossing covers?
They're pretty good. I mean, I just saw the like covers.
Bow,
like,
bow,
or do you
bow.
mean like music cover?
No, I meant
or
the
do you mean,
songs
like,
that I sent.
artwork?
The songs I sent. Today, I decided to put up my. I have, like, in the game there's basketball shoes and then there's high tops, and the basketball shoes look more like the breads, and then the high tops look more like the band Black and Red, and so I decided to put up, like, above my bed in Animal Crossing, like two rows of shoes, and it's like all the like basketball shoes in a row by color, and then the matching color and all the high tops underneath. It's like, that's pretty cool. I love
Can you
that
screenshot it?
Yeah, it's not done yet.
Oh.
I don't have all the shoes. I have to wait till the story refreshes tomorrow.
Making it sound like you done did it, and then you said you didn't do it.
I've completed this thing today.
Oh, Sam did it. Sam left. That's hilarious. He left the fucking Monopoly boys. I knew it.
Sammy, why you do us dirty?
Yeah, he was like,
boomer.
he's like, there's so much not Killzone. What is it called? Warzone fucking content. And I was like, dude, who cares? They're just funny.
He didn't like that Travis Scott Bape kid.
I don't know.
That's so hilarious. Yo, that Travis Scott concert on Fortnite went so hard.
Uh-huh. That was good. But it's not like there's like Monopoly Plus or Monopoly Deal memes fucking galore online, you know?
Yeah.
We should do Monopoly Deal Crew.
Monopoly Deal.
I think I'm the only one posting those.
We should do what? Memes?
Monopoly Deal content.
Oh, I see what you mean, yeah. Yeah, that is definitely just you.
How
Oh,
come
you
you always
just
film
saying
Meredith
no?
in the bathroom, Josh?
Because she's always taking care of her fucking skin. Like she's like,
She's
I
always
heard
working
this
on her
song.
complexion.
and I heard this song one day called Skincare, and it was so good. It was kind of a funny song, so I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna record her in the bathroom and play it to this song every time. I just pick a different part of the song.
I love that
Skincare.
one post you had where it was like, damn it. Where it was like, getting
Ah.
sass from both ladies.
It felt like a sitcom. Damn.
Huh.
Alright, let's see who else we can get. They're playing Call of Duties, I think. Ooh, baby. Nah, it's healthy. Yeah, you're gonna get too skinny. Do you not get like headaches and stuff?
Like, I'm still so addicted to nicotine that like that's my main thing when I wake up is like,
I need
it's
it.
like, when am I gonna fucking pop in one of those pouches that has nicotine?
Healthy. Is are you do you smoke still? Huh. That sounds tasty. Oh, do you chew? Chew's nasty.
It's like the idea of chew, but it's not tobacco. It's like straight up salt, like, but it's nicotine salt. So it's like straight nicotine in your. I don't know.
Right.
It seems like way cleaner or whatever.
Can you swallow it?
No, you can't swallow it. Oh wait, you do swallow it. I don't spit it. Yeah. What am I talking about? You just like go about your day, like you can't even see it's in your mouth. You should check them out, Josh. Well, maybe don't, but
No,
I know
I
you
quit.
s-
I finally kicked that shit a while ago. Finally.
Did you smoke?
No, I chewed.
Oh God, you're such a redneck.
Oh yeah, it was like such the cliche, like what they tell you happens in like dare class,
yeah,
like peer pressure and shit. Cause I mean, I smoked a little bit in college, but like I never liked it a lot. Where like I wanted to do it all the time, cause I could tell when it was affecting my breathing. Like I could cause I ran a lot, so I could tell like, oh man, I gotta stop smoking. And I
Yeah.
could smell it. I didn't like the smell.
Yeah.
Chew, I didn't. I tried it, and I tried chew in high school and in college. And I never liked it. I hated it.
yeah.
And then finally, like two of my best friends chewed, and they were always over watching like football and stuff. So like, they would just give me a hard time and be like, "Oh, just chew a little bit," and I would literally just do a little bit at a time until it's like stopped making my stomach hurt, and like I stopped hating it. And then like once like finals came around, it was like, you know, I was on it just because it helped me study, and then all of a sudden I was working late in agency world, and it helped me concentrate at work, and then I was just not, I was hooked.
I remember you at Integer just sitting in the back, spitting into your spittoon. You were like,
You're lying. You didn't see Josh
I
do
know.
that. Wait, you weren't even there at the same time. I just
I
thought
think we
about
were, but we didn't. I didn't. He didn't. I didn't.
What was funny was when I became friends with Mon, he kept referring to Josh as Josh Schneider. He might have even said Joshua Schneider every time. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Why is his name so long?
Joshua Gregory Schneider. What's
Like,
your middle
it
name,
almost
Josh?
sounded like it was just your first name. Or you like it was all your first name.
Josh, your middle
David.
name's Christopher, right? Oh, fuck. I thought
Because you'd always be like, Joshua Schneider just got a PS4. I was like, how many Joshuas do we know that you're referring to him by his first and last name?
you've come a long way since Joshua Schneider to Jash. That's how you know you've made it.
How did that even start? Was that an Ollie thing?
It wasn't me. It was an Ollie thing. I don't know where it came from, but I think it was that song, Hey It's Josh.
It's a song, but it's kind of your accent. That's what it was.
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
Man,
You're good. You're such a
Josh.
strategy guy.
Jash.
No.
How'd you become friends with Mon?
Me?
How did I become?
Both of you.
He was on my integer team. I guess
Hmm.
Ali's too, but Ali was like on the channel team or something else. And then Mon and I worked on Blue Moon together. Yeah, that's what it was. Mon was on the 10th and Blake team, and Ali was on the customer team or on-premise team or whatever.
Yeah.
So Mon and I started. Well, he started shortly after I did, and I would just go to his cube and just talk to him because I didn't know anybody else. And then we all went into this happy hour at Baker, and that was then Caitlin started like a week later, and so me, Mon, and Caitlin all worked on 10th and Blake and just started talking while we were there. And then we started talking about weed, and Mon was like, "Oh, y'all can come smoke if you want." We were like, "Okay." So we all went to Mon's house and got super high, and that's the night that Matt Korotko was there, that other strategy person, and he got so high that he fell over. And then Josh Hudson offered to drive him home, and he actually Matt lived in Lakewood, but Josh drove him all the way to like Governor's Park in Denver, and then Matt was like, "Oh, I live out in Lakewood," so he had to turn around and drive him all the way back.
Oh, wow. That Josh Hudson dude scares me.
He's a goofball.
I think did I meet Mon through you, Cody?
I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. We were on the digital team maybe, and we went on like I think it was like some offsite, and we all were hanging out. I think Mon forgot who I was the second time I met him too. He's like, "What's up, man? Who are you?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "I'm stoned with you right now. I don't look like anybody else in this agency."
I think Mon is high at work most days.
Yeah. I could
He
see
used
that.
to like say that he would never get high before work.
I know he says that, but I think he does.
I don't believe it.
What the hell, CZ? How many of these fucking debt collector bullshit things do you have?
50,000.
Zigzag.
Shite. I need a better username.
Yep.
What about?
Josh, me and Cody were playing Apex one day, and he hadn't even like loaded it up. It was like the beginning of us playing, and I started just telling him my thoughts. I was like, you know what, you should get a name that's like so just easy and simple to say, and blah blah blah. And I just kept rattling on fucking ideas, and he got all nervous. He's like, "Now I'm embarrassed. Why do I have this name?" And he was like freaking out. He got all like self-conscious and shit. He's like, "I think I'm gonna log off. I don't know why I did any of this." He's like, "What should I change it to?" And he's
I
like,
did
"What
not
about
do
Kid
that.
Cody?" He literally I know it sounds like
Kid
I'm
Cody's
like fucking
amazing.
around because it's something I would do, but I swear he was like
No,
panicking.
I did not.
Dude, you went full panic mode, and then the next day you were like, "No, I'm gonna embrace it. It's okay." I was like, "What? You were fucking losing your shit yesterday."
Look, I'm not very decisive.
That was so fucking funny. He was losing it, and by the time he even booted up the game, he was like, "I gotta go. I think I gotta figure this thing out." And I was like,
No, I
"Jesus,
did
dude,
not.
this is scary, dude." No, I swear, dude.
Don't believe
you
it,
sent me
Josh.
a message
He's
that
lying
says,
to
"Kid
you."
Cody." Because I saw it the other day and I was like, why the hell did he send me a message that says Kid Cody? And I was like, oh, because
All
he
right,
was
I
gonna-
gotta go. I'm getting stressed. I gotta go.
Yeah, he's so stressed. That shit was fucking funny, man. Cody, you're hilarious. Hilarious. Like Nick Cannon. I'm gonna add Sam back.
Ooh! I had to get more wine.
I just added Sam back.
Hey Sam, looks like you may have accidentally left the group.
He does this shit. It's so funny.
He just doesn't care about the goofs and spoofs. What the fuck?
Thank you, Cody.
You're welcome. God, Mon totally bailed.
Are you surprised?
A little bit. What was that thing we decided that if you don't show up to play, you have to put money into a pool?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we did talk about that.
Yeah, mine would be fucking. He wouldn't be able to afford that fucking iPad. That's for damn sure. If he.
You
They
better
do that.
Belize it. He'd be paying for our next trip to Belize.
Oh shit! I was looking through a bunch of screenshots today, and I saw a bunch of like screenshots of that chat.
Ugh. I still
You know
can't
what's
believe
weird
all
is
that.
Austin messaged me the other day out of the blue and was like, "Can I ask you a personal question?" I was like, "What the fuck, bitch? I haven't talked to you in like fucking 3
You're like-
years. What kind of question is this gonna be?" And then, wait, you canceled the 1 million?
I don't have any money, dude.
Oh, I thought you were
Cheesecake
like,
just keeps coming after me with no fucking mercy.
Cheesecake.
right.
This is why there's a fucking Silent Alliance. Anyway, she just was like, "What do you think of Joshua Tree?" And I was like, "Well, I've never been, but it seems cool. I'd like to go one day." And she's like, "What do you think about like if I were to buy a bunch of places and rent them out, and would you go there with your friends?" I was like, "I have no idea what you're saying because I don't know if there's places to buy around Joshua Tree, and where are you gonna get this money to buy these places?" It was the weirdest fucking conversation ever.
Weird. How long
I
did
just-
it go on?
Not long after that, I just liked a couple of her messages, like double tapped them, and I just quit. Like I just stopped responding.
Nice.
Her parents are rich, I think.
Are they? But like, rich enough to let you loan you like millions of dollars to buy a couple different properties?
I don't know.
I don't
Maybe.
know.
Hey, what do you think about Joshua Tree? Would you rent a property from me?
That's basically what it was like. I was like, why are you talking to me right now?
Also, how's that a personal question?
I know, I don't get it.
She's doing market
All
research.
that. And it almost felt like it was a reason to just hit me up, but then I was like, why doesn't she just... I don't
Why
know.
don't you call me?
God damn it, Indy.
Damn, you getting ripped a new one.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, I'm never going back to work, I've decided.
No, we may not have the choice, man. It might be that we have to, maybe we don't even have fucking jobs.
Oh,
That's
why you
scary.
gonna say that?
Dude, it's scary. It's scary out there. Oh, I'm out of turns, no wonder. I mean, I'm like bracing myself for like the worst situation. I'm like trying to like get freelance together, but it's still like I'm fucked regardless.
Yeah.
If
Have you seen that
happens.
like certain countries that are like seeing food shortages or starting to like riot and stuff?
Shit. No.
Time to get a gun.
Oh, Mon said logging on.
What? Tell them we're getting
Yeah.
off at 8. God, this weather in Portland sucks. You know what? All the reports show that Oregon is doing a really good job with all of this, and I was like, yeah, because we're all used to just staying home all the time because the weather sucks.
Yeah.
It's like that's literally all it is.
Logging on.
Show me your log.
He sent it with all lowercase too. No, he did that.
Wow, that took some effort. That means he retyped the message a few times.
Yeah.
He was nervous. Oh, what should I say? Ali, did you watch or I guess you too, Josh. Did you guys watch Last Dance this week?
Oh yeah.
I still need to
fucking
watch
good.
the episodes.
Last Dance? I don't even heard of that.
What?
Dude, it's the fucking Michael Jordan Bulls documentary. You must be kidding. You haven't heard about that? Dude,
What's
you
it
need
on?
to watch it. It's phenomenal.
like it. It's great.
ESPN. It's
yeah,
so
I don't
good.
have ESPN.
It's like, I think it might be on Netflix too, but what's crazy is like, it just from a point of like, the guy was such a good leader, or like, I don't know, like they're all just like the craziest team, like Phil Jackson, fucking Dennis Rodman, Scottie Pippen, Jordan. It was insane. I thought it was sick.
Boom, boom, bop. Boom, boom, bop. And they got LL Cool J on there.
Mondalisa
Well,
Rice.
well.
Look who joined the party. So fool.
You only 52 minutes late. We've decided that we're going to do that thing where if you don't show up, you got to put money in a pool, and that's how we're going to pay for the trip we all take.
Oh, nice.
So you owe
You got thought on
$52.
Oh, we're taking a Monopoly deal.
Hell yeah. Mon, I'm excited for my cat art. I told Ashley about it, and she's very excited too.
Mon,
Oh,
I
yeah.
really hope you take this seriously and you like paint a picture of his like that black dude with his dick hanging out on the bed, like with the cat head on it, or like the cat head as like the dick.
Please no.
I like how that became a meme.
Yeah, the cat head. It's for furries. Have you seen in Fortnite one of the skins right now is like this super ripped, like muscly cat person? It's for furries.
I think I've seen like a video of it. Quit talking about Fortnite. You know,
Oh, I'm addicted to it again.
You guys see that the new Assassin's Creed is called Valhalla
Is it?
Valhalla.
Where does it take place?
in Valhalla? Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be Norse.
Oh, so it's like a God of War ripoff.
Yeah, maybe.
Man making threats with a weapon down the street from my house. That's fun.
Nice.
Ollie, did you watch the video of the crazy lady?
Oh my god,
on
that
Venice
was
Beach?
crazy.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
fucking insane, dude.
The video
That's-
ended too soon though.
Yeah, I don't know.
I want to
think
know
that-
I want to know if she actually pooped or not.
Oh, I'm
She
sure
definitely
she
pooped,
did,
dude.
dude. Venice
I want to
is
know if she
grimy.
pooped or not.
Dude, were all those tents
You'll
on
have
that
to stay
sidewalk?
tuned.
Were those all homeless people, or was that shops?
No, those are shops. That's the boardwalk, the Venice boardwalk. But they're all like t-shirt shops, food places. Like, fucking guys need to come out here after the pandemic
Oh yeah,
and come
sure.
see it, because like I was thinking about this the other day when we went to Mission Beach in San Diego. It was like eerie for me because it felt like I was in LA, but it was so quiet and like not busy.
Oh yeah.
And it was like really weird because I was like, dude, I'm so used to like this kind of weather and shit, but like it's like so lively and stuff. But in San Diego, it's so quiet. It's like suburban almost. But
Yeah,
you
it
guys,
is.
like,
I like San Diego.
I do
think
too,
I would move
but
there.
no, I do too. But it was just it was. I'm not saying it was bad. It was just strange for me because I'm so used to like the chaos of LA. But it. Like, you know, when you see, like, a fucking bomb shitting on the fucking, like, in Mon's video, it's not like you're the only person out, so it's not that weird, because you're, like, all in it together. You're like, oh, okay, there's a bomb shitting there, so I should probably not go near them.
Yeah.
But I've never seen anything that crazy in person, luckily.
I bet you hang out Venice Beach long enough, you see shit like that all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you
I
see shit like that in Denver. We were just
Yeah,
out shooting
exactly.
a video the other day, and we found a big old turd right in the middle of the street.
Were you like finders keepers?
They all start-
It was like, film that. We're making the video.
Film that. With this, I marched to the pace of a different drum, and then you showed the turd on the ground. I stood still.
Fuck off. That's not. You didn't even watch the video.
Yes, I did. What's in your throat? What are you eating?
he's eating
Oh,
the
I
shit.
didn't even watch the video.
That's why you remembered it. That's why you remembered it.
I
Oh,
marched
Sam
to
Zena
a.
liked the message.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I go, it's all good. I added him back. He liked it. And then it said, must have been a mistake on his part. And then he liked it.
And then he's gonna leave. He's gonna wait till the cover of darkness. It's gonna be like 3 a.m. and he's gonna leave it.
It's like when he kept leaving our PS4 crew chat. And we kept adding him back. And then I remember once he wanted to join it. And I was like, no. I was like, you can't.
That's hilarious.
You guys see the free games for May is Farming Simulator. and
Oh
City
shit.
XL.
Oh
You gonna
my
play
god.
Oh yeah, I'm excited.
Farming Simulator and what?
And the City XL. It's like
You know what
SimCity.
the perfect way
Oh.
the way that I think of Sam is? Sam is like if this was Workaholics, we would be like, and there was 4 of them, I guess. We would be the Workaholics, and Sam's Carl, the drug dealer, who's like always there, but like kind of does his own thing, and it's like he like keeps
Yeah,
leaving
what's
the
Sam
group.
at?
I invited him a few times. He might get on. I have a
Who?
viewer right now. He might be watching.
He's watching.
I'm watching right now.
Oh, you are?
it's Mom.
That's why you decided to get on.
Dude, leave a comment. I need to get my
Come on,
He heard us.
engagement.
He heard us swapping how we met Mon story.
He heard us swapping spit. Yeah, we were
Swapping
talking about how we
Mon
all met
stories.
Mon. I'm pretty sure that I just came and started talking to you, and then
Yeah.
then me and you met Caitlin, and then I also worked with Ali, and then I don't know, it's something like that.
Yeah, you
I
used to call my
remember-
cube one day and start talking. I'm like, who the fuck's this guy?
Were you?
I remember the first day
you
I
were
met
so
Mon
nice.
because I was so excited about moving from. I was only on that stupid ecom team for like 4 or 5 months, and they brought me over to Blue Moon,
Yeah.
and I was so excited about going to Blue Moon because I hated my fucking ecom team.
Blue Moon.
It was like Brianna and Ann and Dan. Remember Dan?
Oh yeah, the little short guy. Plays
Yeah.
Xbox.
Yeah.
You know the type.
And I
Yeah.
remember
Well,
going over to the
'cause
Blue
he's friends
Moon,
with that Adam kid.
and I was so excited about it. And I met Mon the first day, and I was like, "What the fuck am I getting into? This guy is a fucking retard."
Oh, yeah.
We all went. Remember, we all went to that Christmas party together. That was fun.
No, I think Josh, the way you met Mon was like you were like, finally I'm out of the Midwest and the big city, and you walked into work and you saw Mon and you were like, oh, an Asian, and you went up and you were like, nice to meet you. And then
I don't think I met Ali through Cody. I think we all went to
Yeah.
get to lunch together one day.
Yeah. I think it was a digital outing. Didn't we all go to like some horse racing shit?
Yeah. I went
Oh
to
yeah,
that.
I remember the
Horse
horse
racing.
race.
Maybe
That was my
that was-
one and only digital outing that I went to.
Do you guys remember when we did that March Madness bar hop thing? And then I put like that picture that was like, green beer. This is crazy.
Oh yeah, you Instagrammed
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Fucking trash Instagram at the time. It was so bad.
It's still bad.
Oh man, that was good. Green beer.
I was with what was that guy's name? Kevin, Justin, the goofy guy, the older guy.
Doesn't narrow it down.
Greg,
Greg. Jeff Kinsel?
Yeah. And we went to Hooters and Twin Peaks, and it was us, and then Aaron Nagel, and then somebody else, but I forget. Maybe Brian.
I thought those dudes were such like badass creatives when I joined Integer, and then like after a while, I was like, who the fuck are these idiots? What are they fucking doing this Masters of Chaos thing and all that shit? I was like, this is so embarrassing.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
I always was like jealous that like Blue Moon and you guys had like the better creative directors.
Yeah,
Because ours
better
were, like,
creative directors. Fucking Felice, or what was his name? What was our fucking creative director's name?
Kiefer?
No, Keeper was our GC.
Dan? I don't know, what was the guy's
Breedis?
Blue Moon.
Bradice.
name? Berdice.
Bradice.
He
at least
sucked.
had. Yeah, I'm sure he sucked. But he had like better taste probably than like the guys who I had to work with. Like it was like
yeah, that's true. He had like
Who
a
was that
better. He had a good attitude. Like he wanted to do cool shit. He was just like so. Not he wasn't. He had bad ideas and he gets stomped on by everybody. Yeah.
we had like Tony Fuller. You remember that thing I showed you guys, the picture of that on his portfolio of that one thing where it was like the really sexist thing.
Yeah. Saturdays for the boys or whatever.
Yeah, or there's like a girl with a sandwich and there's like a bunch of guys like
Cheering
yelling
for
at the
them.
TV. I was like, what is wrong with this shit?
It's horrible.
There's a fucking psychopath.
Yeah, Dustin, I was going to say, Dustin, the problem would be like, that was his name, right? Dustin Berdice?
Dustin, yeah.
The problem was that if he got you cornered, he would not stop talking. And he used to, like, I'd be going, like, Lauren, my boss, would always be like, you need to go check in with the creatives and see if they need help on anything. And I'd be like, okay. And I was like a junior account planner, and I'd go up there and be like, hey, what's up, Dustin? Do you need anything? And he'd be like, oh, I got this idea. And then he'd just start talking, and I was like, I'm not the right person to be talking to right now. Just standing there, like nodding.
He hated me. He almost fired me once.
Whoa.
Carrying on.
I got in an argument with him. It was not good.
Josh, everyone hates you.
What did you argue about?
Oh shit!
Yeah, fuck off.
He's the just say no. I was gonna steal from Cody, but he doesn't have shit.
What?
You don't have a full set.
I'm coming after you now. You dunzos.
He almost fired you, Josh?
Yeah, so I don't remember. Like, I honestly, I'm not, like, I wasn't the best designer in the world, for sure. But, like, I was, like, really behind on some stuff, and, like, I didn't know what to do for something, and he couldn't give me direction. I think he was leaving on vacation or something. And, Connor was leaving, too. And I always, like, did everything, like, to make people happy, period. And Connor would just, like, throw me shit. Like, he's like, I'm leaving on vacation, do all this stuff. And I was, like, irritated about it, so I, like, pushed back on Connor, because, like, one of the account people told me to.
Yeah,
And,
Connor's terrible. He was awful.
And so then
so many people.
He almost got in a fight with Mon.
Yeah. We only.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, dude,
What the fuck?
Anyway, so, like, I was pushing back on Connor, and that pissed Connor off, and Connor and Dustin were tight. No, this is not a conversation. I'm telling you something, and you're listening, and that's it. And he was, like, yelling at me. I've never seen him yell before.
Whoa.
And then
I started laughing, I think. I did it. I think.
over.
Did you invite Sam?
And
No, I'll invite him.
Okay, sorry, Josh.
And I remember he had already pulled Lee over, and me and Lee were tight. And when Dustin went to actually hire me with Sully, I remember looking at him, and he just did not look happy at all. And Lee afterwards was laughing so hard, and I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, Dustin didn't want you on this team, but Sully likes you, so like Dustin, he bows down to everybody, so he just didn't say anything." I'm like, "Fuck!"
Wow.
But after that, we were good. We were cool. Like, we never had a problem ever again.
Nice.
Damn. Why aren't you guys joining this game?
I did, and it like
bad.
canceled or something.
You guys done already? Who won?
I sent you a Josh one.
Josh won again. Josh keeps winning.
Wait,
I need
back.
I've
Sounds
never,
like
Yeah,
my
like
ass
three.
whooped in the beginning of that one.
I've never seen Josh do anything so well. Just
Sam's
kidding.
anti.
Hey,
Sam,
Ron,
Hey.
do you guys still have Baker? Did Baker shut down?
I heard it changed its name or
They
something.
changed their name to like something else.
Yeah, but did
It's not- I
that
haven't been
place
there
shut
in a
down
year.
too?
I have no idea. I haven't been by it since.
What
It's
about
my forever.
Wasabi?
It's still there.
Wasabi was
Wasabi's
the
like a
worst
chain.
thing there.
No,
I
that place
I
was
hated
decent.
that.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't that bad.
Oh,
They had a bento box, which was amazing. I wouldn't get the regular just sushi there.
my favorite place in that whole area is.
Mom told me the
Little
best
India.
story anyone's ever told me at that place.
What did I say? Yeah.
You told me like your whole fucking childhood, man. And I was
Oh,
like,
yeah, yeah.
Jesus, this
You
shit
did,
is
yeah.
crazy.
Over a
Yeah.
bento box?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude, those bento boxes, it was teriyaki chicken, rice, egg rolls, and like sushi. It was fucking amazing for like
It
$8.
was like $9.99. Yeah. It was like
Yeah,
$9.99.
egg
I
rolls.
shit ton of food.
Dude, the egg rolls were like the kind that they like cut in a weird like, I don't know. It was amazing.
I liked Little India. That was my favorite place.
Oh, that buffet was pretty legit, actually.
Oh my god. You eat like 50 samosas.
Yeah.
And you get real
Wait, is that
sleepy.
smart to play a wild card right off the bat?
Well, you can't. Nobody can steal it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Can't you steal it if it's in a part of a set?
If it's in a set, you can, but by yourself, you can't. Remember, Josh was like, "You shouldn't be able to keep that card. They should burn it.
Yeah, he said burn it too. I was like, what?
They
Yeah,
should
man.
shoot it."
Hey, Mon, did you see what I tagged you on Facebook?
Yeah, yeah. It's been a year already,
Dude.
man.
I can't believe it's been a year already, first of all. And
Yeah.
two, that was the fucking highest I've ever been in my life. That was so amazing. All those
Where at?
pictures. Shit. We were tripping balls on some mushroom tea that Mon made us, or Joe
Woo.
made us. And we went walking around in Rocky Mountain National Park, and oh my god, we were geeking out. It was so crazy.
Yeah.
What were
Mon
you
had a
geeking out
panic
about?
attack and laid down in his tent for 2 hours, which
Oh,
the
that
rest of it was fun.
sucks. That's the worst. That's why I don't smoke anymore, because I had that happen like 3
Well,
times in a row. Smoking.
I was
and stopped.
I was recovering. It was my birthday week, remember? Because I was really sick, and then I was getting better finally. And we went camping, but then like my sinus was still like pretty clogged up.
On your
And so when you're on mushrooms, like it just exacerbates everything. It makes it feel like 100 times worse.
And me and Joe couldn't stop laughing. Anything Joe said would make me laugh so hard. I started crying and my stomach started hurting. It was horrible.
Dude,
How many
It's
cards
such a good
how many
one.
cards can y'all hold total?
8, maybe?
8?
I think it's 7.
Yeah, it's 7. So you gotta play 2 cards now, Mon, otherwise you're gonna lose 2.
Yeah. Well, I could put some in the bank, right? That counts.
Yep. Oh, it's not in your hand. And now you're good.
All right, boys. How are we gonna? So, in the agenda for this evening, I put together this
Yeah, I just
portion
saw
of the
that.
night is about the. We got to brainstorm some opportunities. What are we gonna do in a post-advertising world?
Oh man, I don't know, man.
What
I'd
about?
like to get a trade skill.
I got an idea. I think, like, okay, so Uber right now is changing their business to be like delivering stuff for retail. Like if you order something from like at the Apple store, they'll like ship it to your house, so you don't have to go drive there or go into the store and all this shit.
Yeah.
And you can also like send stuff to people. So like if Josh, if you had something that you know, you're borrowing something and you need to give it back to them, you can just send it through Uber. It's super cheap. But basically, I think that like people are going to rely on apps and services like that. And maybe not like, we don't need like a fleet or anything, but I just think we need to think about like how apps are going to come into play. And we're already thinking about it with AT&T with like, I don't know how the retail side is going to change. And it's not really an idea, but I think it's a direction we need to go in, where we just think about like random app ideas that will be useful for people given the time.
Hey, Ollie.
Yeah.
You're like starting to sound like a creative director like Dustin Bradice.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we need to think about apps. Apps
That's
are cool.
cold.
We gotta think about apps.
Let's think about.
What can we
let's
do
think
with
about.
apps?
Okay, how about this?
I'm kidding.
I'm gonna
Ollie,
strategize
but
on
I
that.
had a thought. Of
Here's
Dustin
the thing.
Bradice.
I think yes,
Well, I was
apps
going.
are the technology we should be thinking about because that's how everybody's staying connected and accessible. But we need to think first about what is the problem that we're actually solving for. So like in that case, like Uber said, oh well, we have a fleet, so we have to make a shift, and there's a big problem
Yeah.
right now that people can't get like clothes and technology, like electronics or whatever they get. Like food delivery is already a thing, and we're already doing that. So I know that's like a natural like extension of what they do. But like, what else is like a big problem right now that people are facing that isn't being addressed? You know, like
So-
is it? I think like connections and mental health is something we could look into. But
Yeah.
I also think like eating healthy is actually kind of a surprising thing right now. It's like I think more people are like, whether it's like stress and you're just not taking care of your diet, or it's like accessibility to fresh food because you're not buying as often and you don't want to go to the store. I think there's a big need for more like not meal kits but like fresh organic ingredient
Because
deliveries.
people are eating more now because they're stuck at home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
I
the
think
problem,
appreciate that.
and the problem with fresh food is like you can't buy a lot of it at once if you're just like a couple. You know what I'm saying? Like if you have a small family, like me and Meredith go to Costco all the time because they have great fresh food. But like if we don't like intentionally try to eat it a lot, it goes bad. So like I think like a fresh food delivery service, like a subscription, which probably already exists, but like
Well,
something
there's like
more regular.
imperfect produce is the thing, but I mean more like something more regular and like smaller deliveries, because to your point, you bulk up or not bulk up, you like buy in bulk and then all your shit goes bad, and that stuff
Right.
is so perishable that it's not really matched up to like how much less often people are actually buying groceries and food.
Yeah.
Um,
Or
Yeah.
like, here's an idea on that. First,
Or
I gotta say
bidets.
something else before I forget it. Earlier, Ollie was talking about apps and like delivery, and then you right there, Cody, said something about what is like a problem that we can solve.
Yeah.
But as Ollie was talking, I had this thought of like, we could even step outside of that box of like, what problems can we solve? Because Uber is such a perfect example of there isn't like a problem. I know they say there's a problem, but there isn't a problem, and like I'm so surprised what people pay for. So like Uber, as in like a taxi service, doesn't count, but Uber Eats, like someone delivering your Taco Bell, like 10 years ago, people would be like, why the fuck don't you just go pick up your goddamn Taco Bell? Why would you pay someone $5? And
Sure.
now they've evolved that into shipping something you borrowed from your friend back to your friend. And it's like the first thing I thought was like, fuck, why wouldn't you just do it? But like people are so not lazy, but like they're just so willing to like pay a little bit of money so that they can keep their time. Their time's more valuable to them. So it's almost like we don't even have to step into the box of what is a problem. It's almost like the next couple of things that are going to come out.
It's like a convenience thing, yeah.
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly. Like people are willing to pay for the convenience. The
Yeah,
reason
but-
I sounded like Berdice is because I was like getting nervous because it was timing down my fucking thing, and I was like trying to fucking get my thoughts out. But I think the thing is like we need to just look at like how things are gonna shift or predictions of how we think they're gonna shift and how we can jump ahead of it. I think because. People are going to be less in stores. People are going to be buying online more, but I don't think they're going to be buying like high fashion. Like no one's going to be buying fucking Louis Vuitton and Supreme and shit like that because they've lived through this long enough for so many weeks that it wasn't like a weekend, like a heat wave for a weekend where you remember how hot it was. It's like you remember this shit for being like 2 months of my life where I couldn't leave the house, where I had to fucking use hand sanitizer like a crackhead every 5 seconds, and like we need to like come up with. We need to just think of like different things and see and just be like, how do I predict this is going to change? And then maybe we can see a connection there, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then my next idea is we're talking about food delivery and making it like on a smaller scale or more affordable and like fresh food. Like we have like 4 different garbage truck services that go by our house all week because we don't have a single garbage service in Lakewood. And I'm like, God damn, why doesn't, like, I know why the city doesn't mandate.
Oh, what? Oh, no, I hit the wrong button.
Oh, shit.
God damn it. Oh.
That's what happens when you're brainstorming and dealing.
Yeah, I'm trying to listen to you guys. I fucking hit the wrong button. God damn it. That fucked me over really good, too.
I understand why the city doesn't mandate a single garbage company because they would put all those other garbage companies out of business. So I wouldn't, like, push for that in government. But I was thinking, like, what's the next best solution for this so we don't have 4 different garbage trucks driving around town all the time? And it's like, well, why don't they just bid per, district within Lakewood? So, like, they all try to outbid each other to, like, own a certain district within Lakewood. And that would save the residents money so that they're not, paying for, they have to pay through the government through their taxes, and the government just pays those districts. Anyway, the point of my next idea goes that same avenue where it's like a delivery service, and they call it like the neighborhood grocer, where it's like someone that kind of steps in the way of like Amazon or like Whole Foods delivery for food, right? And they make deals with like HOAs or like with neighborhood presidents or whatever. So like they basically take the whole neighborhood's grocery order at once, and that way one delivery guy can go drop off like a bunch of different groceries to a bunch of different homes.
Yeah.
All at once. You son of a bitch, Indie Penguins.
That's a good idea.
But
I don't know enough about that to.
I wonder if we can do something that doesn't require us like partnering with people. Like, is there some stuff that we can do just like literally from like not having connections to a grocery store or people who have trucks and shit like that? Like, I think that's like maybe some way we could like get something off the ground super quick, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. And now I'm thinking more about, Ali, what you said about how we need to be thinking just ahead of everything happening. Like, yeah, there's a need for a lot of different things right now, but really what we should be thinking about is like, what is the world going to look like 3 to 4 or 5 to 6 months from now? Like, as things slowly get back to normal, but like people aren't really going out and they're not spending as much, I think a ton of businesses are going to be closed down.
Yeah.
Like, how do you start to actually like look at some of these pretty negative shifts that are happening right now as actual opportunities? So for example, if you had enough capital, you could basically buy up a lot of these locations that are going to close and turn them into something else.
Yeah.
Or like there's not going to be a need for office spaces that are as big anymore necessarily, because I think a lot of those locations are going to start to turn into like multi-use, like there's going to be more like restaurants and little shops and things popping up in old workspaces. So like if that's the case, I'm just trying to think, like, that's definitely one thing that I think everybody kind of knows, but like what else is going to change,
yeah, that's a huge thing is like, so right now all these small businesses are getting these PPP loans or whatever, and they'll have enough to pay people for like the remainder of the pandemic for however long it goes, right? But then after the pandemic, they're not going to get this funding. The money's going to be gone. And then people are not going to be back out and going out and doing things. And society's not going to go back to normal. So we're going to see the most employment at the very end of this thing.
Sure.
When you think we've bounced back. And then it's going to be another huge depression. And like, I wonder if there's a way where, I know like Fiverr exists and like things like that where you can like, TaskRabbit and shit where people can like go do things for money. But I wonder if there's a way we can like kind of help the unemployment ahead of time. but I don't know what that would be. Like, we
Actually,
don't want
that's-
to create a LinkedIn or something,
That's
right?
cool because like almost like what that makes me think of is like, do you guys know the financial app Acorns?
Yeah.
So Acorns basically what it like does rollover change or whatever into an investment account. And what if there was a way that you could invent something like that that would look at your expenses or things you make and basically apply like a minor like roundup tax to any purchase you make, and what it would do is like, so to the benefit to the user is that like you could say, hey, you're giving back to the community or whatever, it's going into this bank and that's going to help people, but it also like could be considered like donations that are just happening on their own, so then they're like tax deductible at the end of the year, meaning like if through the year I end up actually donating like $2,000 because of the roundups that are happening all the
You're
time,
up.
I get like money back. I can write that off my taxes as like charity. But then what the system does is it actually then looks at like, I don't want to say like we just give it to people who are unemployed, but like are there people out there who are like doing like arts or music or doing things that are actually like improving like the community or your city or whatever, and then like they can actually like put in like proposals to basically say like, hey, I want to paint a mural in downtown Denver, downtown LA or whatever, and then within the app maybe people can like vote on what they want to do, and then the money that's pooled in based on those roundups goes to those people to fund their projects and actually like fund their living.
Yeah. I mean, you know what's interesting too is the fuck, I lost my train of thought. Is like the people that like, oh, this is what I was gonna say, is I've been fucking around on Oculus a lot, and there's this like app called like AltSpace VR, and you basically like can go on there and you can like go watch a movie with your friends, you can do like, you can play basketball with your friends. It's pretty insane. Like, I'm actually really blown away that it's not more mainstream and more like popular. But like all this, I'm not saying we do anything in VR, but I think these like alternative experiences, like I'm sure you guys have been on 1,000 Zoom calls since this thing started. That's old technology that like is finally getting popular and mainstream because everyone's like all about, keeping in touch, but from the comfort of their own homes. And I almost feel like people are going to appreciate that more coming out of this because it's like now the norm. It's not weird to call your friend on a Friday night and have drinks over a fucking FaceTime call. Like, it used to be kind of weird where like you have to be out, you got to be this. I don't know. Like, I wonder if there's other ways of entertainment. Like, dude, we were trying to find a fucking game we can all play remotely on video and on, and be like interacting instead of just staring at each other's faces. Like, could we do something there where it's like as simple as like you're just hanging out with your friends, but instead of just staring at each other and making stupid conversation, there's something going on, like just like we are right now. Like, we're ahead of the curve, I think, with the way we interact. Like, we're in different fucking states and we're chatting and we keep in touch that way. But there's so many of my friends who don't know how to use a fucking PlayStation controller who would never do this, but they probably would if it was just the benefit of staying in touch with their friends.
Yeah,
like, could we create something that's like a mainstream version of this, where it's like Zoom meets fucking Monopoly Deal or whatever? you know?
Yes. So did I tell you guys about, like, I want to just take... Have you guys played, You Don't Know Jack, the Jack series game?
Yeah, there needs to be more
Yeah.
Jack competitors.
Yeah, we
That's
tried
a
to do that, but it
big
was
thing.
so... It was so...
I figured it out.
delayed,
though.
right?
I have a better way
it
of
was-
doing it.
So we did it... I did it with Chris and Pat, and they just started up on their computer and then used Zoom to share their screen.
Yeah.
But, like,
That's ghetto, dude.
that game mode is so easy. Like, I want to make, just without even asking permission from different game companies like Hasbro, just make simple versions of their games like that you can play on something like your Apple TV. You don't have to have a PlayStation, and then include video if you want, if you can. And I feel like, so my Samsung TV from, I don't fucking know, 2013 has a camera built into it. It's a TV, right? Hold on 1 second, I gotta play before I get in trouble. And but putting the other simple games like that there, and then involving video is exactly what I think you're talking about. I think we could do it. I don't think it sounds hard at all.
Dude, even if it required a web browser, like which I could pull up on my computer, you could pull up on your iPad, someone could pull up on their TV, whichever way they want to play it, and then you have Zoom accompanying it or FaceTime or whatever. It doesn't even have to be an all-in-one solution. I think it just needs to be like the next level of sitting on a fucking Zoom call for fucking 2 hours with your friend, and all you're doing is saying the same shit over and over. You know,
well, yeah, that's a good point. But then, like, okay, so if you're thinking about Zoom, what if you had to sum up like the 2 to 3 biggest issues with Zoom right now? What would those issues be? One is there's an expectation that you have to dial in and be on the camera and sit for a prolonged period of time. So like maybe we can think about like how is there something that's a little more flexible where you can kind of pop in and out is one way of thinking of it. Maybe it's like it's a game similar to like a Jackbox, but it actually saves progress so that and it's like maybe not, it could be not like players versus player, but it's like PvE kind of where people can jump in and do co-op and play together but leave, and that might be like another shift you can make. And then to your point, like a cross-platform, just being able to like actually access that. Like the problem with Jackbox Now or whatever is you have to like have the game and then you put it up and then Zoom streams the game and then you need another device to play it and see it at the same time. So what is something also that's like a single device solution of that, to where like maybe your phone screen splits in half so you can see like whoever's talking, or you see video if you want to, and then the other half is the game. Meaning, like, what would you create that wouldn't require a lot of space, that you like half of a phone in theory could actually like
like Chat Roulette's been around for fucking 15 years, maybe longer, and that was all browser based. I'm sure we could do something like that, like use video over your browser, and then also like if we wanted to, but like what would that game be? Like I think trivia is kind of fun, like, or like I don't know, just something simple that like is like entertaining, and like this is kind of cool because you're like, you kind of go after one another. That's like kind of quick. It takes some skill, some luck. I wonder
too, like aside from just like games, what are things that people could do together that feel somewhat like productive or constructive? You know, like obviously like puzzles are lame, but like that would be an example. Or well, something that actually has like there's value when it's completed. So it's not like something that you just check in and play and then you get sick of a game. It's something that you're constantly building towards. Like a puzzle is a great example, or like people love those like coloring books. Is there something you could do like art together, you know? Or even like, you know, like right now there's like plugins where you can watch like Netflix together and then stream that. Is there something that people can do to like learn something together, or like I don't know, like a friend, like some of our friends, we just started like a virtual book club. So we all read Animal Farm this month, and then we FaceTime and talk about the book. So like, what are some other things? Like,
Animal Farm?
Yeah.
Playing Animal Crossing. Reading
Animal Crossing. Okay. Sorry. Anyway,
no,
sorry.
I played
you were saying
Animal Farm and read Animal Crossing. But like thinking of things that I guess like what I started to think about earlier was like, what are the things that like people can't do right now, and even when it gets back to normal, people are going to hesitate to do, and how do you create entertainment that people aren't already capitalizing on? Like, what are people going to do for fun 6 months from now when things are open but nobody wants to go out? Like, what's a way that they can still experience like their old way of living and the things they like to do, but without having to put themselves at risk potentially? And one thing I was just going to say, one thing is like a lot of these spaces that are going to close down and stuff, I think there's going to be a huge pop-up of places that you have to have reservations and an appointment at to go and actually like have fun at them. Like whether it's restaurants or bars, karaoke I think is going to be big, but places where you actually schedule ahead of time, like a space or a room, and then you like basically rent out a smaller version of a restaurant that you go and you like have your party there and you can hang out with your friends, but it's like only up to 10 people, and between people coming into the restaurant they deep clean it and and have UV light and that kind of stuff. I think that's going to be a really big thing. Is like basically like still getting to go out to bars and restaurants, but like they're only going to allow like 5 people in at a time.
Yeah, well, like, you know what's crazy too is going back to gaming is I've been like working on some stuff to how like the retail environment's going to change, and like that led me to looking at examples of what's going on. And if you look at what happened with Fortnite the first time they did a concert, it was basically a third person view of you in a crowd watching a concert, right? Then they did the Travis Scott thing, which was fucking insane. It was like they basically were like, wait, it doesn't have to look like a concert.
Yeah,
like, why does it have to look like a traditional concert, right? And now, in my opinion, an experience like that could be cooler than going to stand in a fucking crowd of 1,000 people or 1,000,000 people or whatever and watch some person play the guitar or sing or whatever, when you can like see this live thing and interact in a way with it that you couldn't in a real life environment. Like, it's almost like a what's that?
That's what I'm excited about.
Yeah.
Like on the PSVR, you could download this music video by Kygo.
Kygo,
Yeah, but like it's like this music video, but it's on in VR. It's fucking cool as hell.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to like the point in time where you can watch like a virtual concert, and it's gonna be way more amazing than like being in person.
So that's cool, because we're actually like at a point where like virtual content, which used to be like the lamest thing ever, is actually something that people want because it's the closest they can get to an experience. And Ollie, to your point about the like Travis Scott thing, that's the closest thing to like VR that I've seen without it actually being VR, because like you controlled your player and you could see other players as it was happening, but then the experience was like basically like a Super Bowl show. It was like front row seats to like a giant Travis Scott watching him fly around the map.
Yeah,
and so that was, but like imagine like Kanye's Sunday service is suddenly a VR experience where like if you get in early or you pay for access or whatever, you can get a front row seat to that Sunday service, and then you block out streamers so nobody else can go and put it on YouTube or whatever. Like you had to be there to actually see it. I think that's
and it's like this exclusivity thing, which is cool, because if you think about it, what Fortnite did was like they sat in a room probably and were like, all right, what sucks about going to a concert? And it was like the crowds, having someone tall in front of you, blah blah blah, and they just like destroyed that whole thing.
Yeah.
Like everything about it is like just like not valid. Like every disadvantage of going to a concert is not in the Fortnite example, but every advantage is like on steroids. Like, oh, you see the guy right in front of you, you feel like the way the bass hit and shit, like it looked like there was explosions and you'd be flying in space and shit. So I think like just thinking of like things that are gonna be the norm, but like how we plus them up is like huge too.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like even to that point, they're probably also like, what are the best things that happen when you go to a concert? And they're like, when the artist runs out in the crowd, and they're like, let's literally have Travis Scott running around the map. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like it's just like you're kind of flipping around. Like, what are the things that used to be limited by like physical boundaries, and we're now in a world where that's not a thing. You know?
I think that the one thing I heard that I go overcome is my favorite thing about going to a concert really is just the sound. Like. There's no way you could like replicate like a concert experience like at home.
But then maybe does that mean there's demand for more like surround systems and better audio? You know, is that something to get into?
Yeah, for sure.
And even like, wouldn't it be cool if there was like some way that you could like, I don't know if this is an app necessarily, but something that like can take like your music or the things you listen to and actually like emulate or like modulate what like live sounds like, just from not like obviously like changing the song, but like more like just changing up the bass and that kind of thing. Like there's a lot of like things I think people like are gonna, I think wherever you see big sacrifices in consumer spending, people are going to start spending way more on home entertainment. They're going to start spending more on their houses and like technology and like all the things, and even like home workout equipment. Like Ali just bought a Peloton. I want to buy like, you know, like more like weights and stuff. I think people are just going to start to bring things into the house. So
the news just came out today. You guys see like Regal Cinema? They're banning any movies that's from the Universal Studios released. They're not going to show movies anymore because Universal Studio are trying to go more of the video on demand route when they release new movies as opposed to going straight to the theater, because they realize that people are willing to pay money to watch like a new movie at home.
Yeah, like honestly, like I don't understand why people still go to movie theaters except for like the fact that it's like nostalgic and the picture is way bigger. But in a VR
Yeah.
world, if you can like literally put yourself in a theater where, like, to Ali's, what Ali was saying is like in VR you can pull up a mega screen or whatever, like a huge huge cinema theater and like just sit and look around and it's like you're actually there. So why would you still go to a movie theater where like some guy in front of you is going to be talking and on his phone and it stinks like old milk duds or whatever? Like, it just doesn't.
Old milk
It's
duds.
outdated, you know.
Wondering,
What
so
else?
what do you guys think happened with VR? You know, like
It wasn't
everyone,
accessible enough. It was too expensive, and the technology wasn't.
I
Was
don't know though.
glitchy,
I don't know
like-
if it was.
and
'Cause,
it's
like-
kind of dorky. Like, people are like, I'm not putting on a headset to like sit in my living room and pretend I'm somewhere that I can actually be. Now we're living in a world where it's like you can't actually be there. You're not allowed to be
Fucker.
there. It's not safe to be there. So like VR, it's like VR is about to blow up, I think.
Yeah, I mean, dude, there's so much crazy shit you can do on it, but honestly, like, god damn it. The problem with it is just like, damn, Mon won. He's
I never
all
won
quiet.
before. I never won before.
So yeah, I think just like the cost of entry and the main, like, VR is a little to the point where and anyone can try it out.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's like about accessibility. You know, people are already familiar
Yeah.
with their phone, and you're not going to get them to like go invest in a whole new device
Yeah,
that's
I mean, like,
alien and complicated.
so we're all using. Are you guys using Slack for your teams?
Yeah.
We were. I have to use Teams now. It sucks.
So with Slack, like our team has been trying to do like fun, quote unquote, fun little things each day, just so to make it interesting for our team. You know, like each day they're asking people they'll nominate one person to do like a thing like where pick an emoji that represents like your personality, blah blah blah.
Oh,
stupid
that's
stuff like that, right?
embarrassing.
Yeah, but like I'm thinking like to what you were saying earlier, you know, what if we just even like a team, whatever, what kind of applications you call those things, but like Slack, but now you create like a virtual environment where each person could create their own avatar, so that way when we have like meetings or whatever, you know, you can have like options to sit in like maybe like an island getaway or like Tahiti or like I don't know, just different places where
Ooh, I could be
instead
like,
of just like but like create like a virtual world environment, you know, that you just be a part of. It makes meetings more interesting, you know, and not so impersonable or
Yeah.
Facebook has something like that, right? And that's why I'm asking.
Yeah,
Like, I think everything
yeah.
we're talking about when it comes to like virtual reality and stuff is, I think it's like spot on. It sounds right, but it's like, why did it kind of go away? Like, because I think it was accessible because you could get a Samsung phone, and you could get a $100 headset to go with it, and you had VR, you know?
But the
Yeah.
thing, Josh, to that point is like you had to buy a Samsung phone, which most people don't want anyway. But yes, you're talking to Samsung, so you're already talking to half the population, or slightly more than half the population, or whatever. Okay, so then you've already limited your consumer set. Then you're requiring them to go buy an expensive piece of plastic to put on their face that the phone fits into.
But
Then you have to download an app and get access to the content. By the time you get it all set up, there's too many hoops to jump through. I think like the
Yeah.
Oculus is a great
I think
example
it-
right now because it's like a much more simple
Yeah.
version of that.
But-
It's all encompassing.
But I don't even think you
know?
need VR though. I don't think you need VR. Like, I think you just need like just build it to any app. They could either do these through mobile or through their desktop. Just create an
Yeah.
option to build like your own avatar for like your virtual office character, and then you have like different environments you could choose for like your meeting rooms or whatever.
Right. The main thing is though is like in all that stuff, the thing that like VR or the Travis Scott concert or whatever, they give you the ability to actually communicate with people in a way that feels somewhat face to face. You know what I mean? Like the thing about VR is like cool to sit and watch movies or whatever, but like what's really cool is like the thing that Ali was talking about, where it's like you go into a club or a concert and Forrest is like, hey, heads up, people can actually like see you as an avatar, and so don't just
Yeah.
go talk to random people. Like that's like simulating going to something in real life where you can actually like meet people, talk to people. Like we have to get over the barrier of like people being afraid to like meet new people online, where it's more about like going in and like you can have like an avatar or whatever that like kind of hides your identity, but being able to just kind of let your guard down a little bit and like actually like meet new people, talk to people. It would be like if you did like meetups in VR around like shared interest or whatever. Like
Yeah.
it's basically
Yes.
taking like chat rooms in the 90s and turning that into
Yep.
something that people actually want to do again.
Dude,
I was
here's
just
something.
thinking about that too, like with AOL back in the '90s when like
Yeah.
all the chat rooms were super popular.
It used to be
Yeah.
safe, you know, like safer. People weren't afraid
Yeah.
of it. And now I think
yeah,
people
I
are
know.
like, everybody has their guard up and we're afraid. But like, the only way you're going to
Mm.
really have human interaction anymore is like to put yourself in a position to do that again, you know?
You know what would be an interesting way to think about this too is that, okay, right now we've been in lockdown for what, like close to over a month now, a month and a half. So I've been on dating apps and I've been like matching with girls and shit, but the conversation goes absolutely fucking nowhere because I've run out of things to talk about, and generally my move is like, oh, let's go meet up for drinks, right? Meet up for drinks, you either gain interest in this person that forwards the conversation, or you don't, and then you never speak again, right? But there's so many of these leads that are going nowhere because there's nothing to do. But imagine if I were to like match with a girl, talk to her a couple days, and then be like, hey, let's get on this thing, and whether it's like a video chat or something fun that we can do instead of going out and getting drunk or going to dinner, like what could that be?
Yeah.
That could be something interesting because, like you're saying, there's no places for us to go out and meet people. It could be for you to meet new people, but it could, and it doesn't have to be like a VR type thing either. It just could be like, you know, a game I could play with someone or
Yeah.
something. Like Words with Friends. You remember Words with Friends? How fucking crazy that shit used to be? Like people were all about that shit, and it's like, yeah, it was like everyone you would talk to would be like, yo, are you on Words with Friends? You'd have like 12 games going at any given time.
Yeah. I mean, but that was the thing, like that was early on, but like they said, hey, let's put Scrabble on a phone. Just like Uber was
Yeah.
like, hey, let's like make taxi cab something you can do on your phone.
God damn
Let's
it.
make like meeting people something you can do on your phone. That's what Tinder and all these apps are. So like what's the next evolution of that? Like it's like let's make something that people can really like get to know each other and actually socialize and get like that like human need basically of like deeper social interaction, but to do it with people like over their device or their phone or whatever it is. So like
Yeah.
I don't know how that works necessarily, but that's a really cool thing.
Yeah, I don't know. It's there's so much shit that's gonna change, and we just gotta like kind of predict it. And I've noticed that like we're kind of on the cutting edge of this shit. Like we're usually on the apps first, whatever app it is. We're usually on the social networks first. We're on games, which I feel like have like, you know, we're always so ahead of the curve that like we need to kind of predict something in a way that's gonna be necessary, like something like that's not just a niche thing that's going to change, but like a mainstream thing that's going to change.
Yeah.
And I'm all about like looking to something that's like not like, obviously we want to make money and like have fucking financial security for this, but I think a good way to think about it too is like if there's a way that we're like helping someone, like whether it's like helping someone get employed or whatever, I think that is like a winning fucking combo.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I think for me, like a big macro thing that we're facing right now is like with all of this, now is the perfect time to either transition to like way more, and this is not stuff I'm saying we necessarily do, but like one of them is like shift to green energy. So there's going to be a huge focus on like sustainability because this has kind of forced us to like the environment
Well,
to get better, you know, but it's like when
Did you
things
see
get
that-
back to normal.
The
Like,
UN
yeah.
is already saying that. They're saying that like this is a good opportunity for the world to, instead of like focusing on like keeping doing the same shit again, like this is a good chance to kind of like focus on new renewable energy and stuff like that.
Oh,
they already proposed.
you know what's crazy
proposing
though?
that like
that makes
Stop
me think
bailing out
though,
like oil.
that makes me think though that this is a bioweapon. So they were like, okay, the only way we can save the planet is to release a pandemic, and then once the pandemic sets in and
No.
people are staying home, that's when we're gonna flip and we're
Dude,
gonna
that's like
end
that's like that
oil.
movie
Oh!
Inferno, or whatever. You guys remember? You guys ever watch that?
No,
The Dan Brown movie or the book? But the whole idea
Mind
was that
Your
like
Danny
the plague
Brown?
was Dan
No,
Brown. Shit. Church one. Oh, I'm gonna do this.
Okay, so this is me being like the devil's advocate or Debbie Downer.
Classic Josh.
I think two things. One, I think this is our opportunity to get greener is never going to happen. Like, I think people bounce back to bad habits so quickly without even knowing. Like, even when they know
I think
something's
America.
good for them.
I think America is. Yeah.
I think everybody is. Like, I think because like I did the Whole 30 for a month and 15 days. Whole 30 is more than 30 days. It's like 45 days, and it was amazing. Like, I felt great. The food was great. I think food
The
tasted
chicks
better.
were great.
Everything was great, but
The
I
poops were
still
great.
My dick was
very
huge.
slowly at first, but then all of a sudden a big wave just went right back to eating like American again. You know, like, and I think that happens a lot of people with diets, and I think that happens with every kind of habit. Like, you want to do what's good. Like when when they talk about this Impossible meat or whatever it's called, Impossible
Yeah.
Burger. Like, I listened to a podcast about that, and the guy was like, "Look, we decided very early on that we're not selling this based on it's better for the planet or it's better for animals or it's better for you, because people
has to
just
taste
don't
better.
stick. People don't stick to that shit." He said it literally has to be cheaper than meat. It has to be less expensive than meat. And he like brought up how before World War II or something like that, like mutton was big in America, like
yeah.
eating cheap stuff. But it was because it was cheap. And then all of a sudden, cotton and whatever stuff got big. So like, being a farmer and owning
Cotton.
sheep wasn't as big. Sorry, cotton.
I don't
'Cause
eat
people
that
were
shit.
wearing a lot of wool. No, I know. But when a farmer raised sheep, he had the wool, and then he would then kill the sheep, and he could sell the meat.
Yeah.
Where once cotton became big, like, the wool wasn't as valuable anymore, so it wasn't as profitable to own sheep. So it got more profitable to own cows, and then beef started to get cheaper, and people started eating more beef. Anyway, so that's like their whole direction, is they had to make it cheap and affordable, because otherwise they knew it would never catch on. So I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I agree.
Like I was reading an article today, but like even in Pakistan, the way they're able to battle like the unemployment was they hired everyone that got laid off from like the whole pandemic thing by like hiring them to like plant trees, all these workers to like plant trees, and the goal is to plant like 30 million trees and shit like that, just to kind of like it's just a good move to make right now. You know,
Yeah,
as
well,
we're
the
battling
thing is,
pandemic and
oil
also
is
to
more. Yeah,
move
oil is
green,
more
yeah.
expensive to produce right now than it's not making money. It's like negative. So
Yeah.
now is the time, if ever, to stop. There's like
Yeah.
financial reasons and environmental reasons.
Well, the UN is actually saying that they're like, we're proposing to not bail out oil companies or like just fossil fuel companies and focus on if we had to bail out some company, prioritize like companies who are zero carbon kind
yeah,
of thing.
now like if
yeah,
there's ever been a time to try to save the
Yeah.
planet, it's right now.
yeah.
But so like how that it swings back to the opposite direction is like right now you can buy a ticket to fucking LA from Denver for like $25. And
Yeah.
so then people start overbuying on that kind of stuff and like overdoing it on the oil consumption. And then
Yeah,
it swings back the other way.
But I wonder if that's going to happen though. Like I don't know. Like I feel like once the pandemic's lifted, I don't think people is going to be all gung ho and go out there and
I
go
don't-
crazy.
I don't
Oil's,
agree.
oil is
I don't
also
agree.
oil's not a luxury expense. Traveling is a luxury. It's an entertainment. That's something people want to spend money.
Because I was wondering
Oil
about
is
that
an
too. I was
essential.
thinking like, will there be? Oh, God damn it! Will there be a?
I think people are going to flock back to going out. Like, people, before this hit, had way too much money, and they got very, very used to buying their food, ordering on Uber Eats. Like, spending money on things that 20 years ago people would have thought was super frivolous is like a common thing. People without money are spending every dollar they have. That's why people are so afraid about our generation getting to retirement, because nobody's saving anything.
But
people
the thing
like
too is
spending
like people
money.
have all lost their jobs now, so like the number of people
Yeah.
who can frivolously spend is much lower, and not even of those who just lost their jobs, but those who are worried about losing their jobs. People aren't going to spend money like that. It's just not. It's not going to
Yeah.
happen. That's literally what a recession.
I was wondering about that too, because I'm like, once this is all over, is there going to be like a shortage of gas? Like people's going to be like at the pumps, like filling up just because they want to travel and go and shit.
I don't think
Like,
so. I don't think people are going to be traveling as
Yeah,
much, and there's so much oil.
I don't think so either. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Exactly,
not.
because I feel like even before the pandemic, like oil and gas was kind of on the way out, anyways. Not like the death stroke that it got from the pandemic, but I think it was kind of like not. It's not.
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
and the thing
it's
too is
not-
like
yeah.
all you need is like 2 or 3 Tesla competitors. You need more car companies doing that, and suddenly it's
Yeah.
gonna flip. Like it's still fairly early adopters and the wealthier who can get those cars, but pretty soon that's gonna be the normal. It just seems ridiculous to think that 20, 30 years from now people are still gonna drive gas cars. It's just like saying like, oh, internet's not gonna take off, you know?
I mean, like I didn't like a year ago. I didn't think that whole Uber Eats thing was like it's gonna
Yeah.
be like that popular, you know?
But here's the other thing: is like oil's not obviously, it's not just travel and gasoline and all that. It's like plastics and how things are produced. But I think with the price of oil
Yeah.
dropping, to Josh's point, are people going to start buying it up to produce more plastics and things? Maybe. But I think that also people are going to start. We're continuing to see more and more people make plastic out of recycled items or plants,
Mhm.
and I think that's
Yeah.
going to continue to happen too. So I think now it's just basically speeding up the death of the whole industry. You know?
God
That's
damn
fair.
it.
That's fair.
Oh shit! No!
Did you guys see that meme I sent you guys of the
No.
car spitting?
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah.
Wait, oh yeah.
But
Wait,
yeah,
this is
I don't
what
know.
the fuck?
You know what we should do? We need to start a Google Doc, and we need to talk just throw out everything: movies, fucking music, concerts, gaming, bars, and then we need to just have a list of things and just kind of predict. Whoever puts whatever down, just put your thoughts of what you think is going to happen or any opportunities. And then I think we need to go over it together and riff off of it, because I feel like there's so much shit out there, and there's gonna be we probably could come up with 10 good ideas, but there's probably gonna be 1 or 2 that are probably gonna be more doable, or make us more money, or just easier to do. I don't know. And there's just so much potential.
What are our actual skill sets? What can we actually do? Because oil and gas or whatever, that's fun to talk about, but we can't do anything, you know?
I mean, we got 3 designers. We got 1 strategy guy. You can figure out all the fucking other competitors and, I don't know, and our target markets. And we can try to do the UX, UI, and then we can each of us give I don't know, try to get this shit coded. I don't know, I'm sure your brother's a developer. I wonder if we could talk to him, or if we could talk to some other people. If it's a web thing, I could probably do some coding. It all depends. I don't know, if we have some connections some places. I have an uncle who makes clothes, but I don't know if there's anything there. I do think that clothing is gonna be very expressive. It'll be a statement what you're wearing, not in the sense of what brand I'm wearing, but what my clothes say about me. And because you're not gonna be talking to people as much. You're not gonna be smiling at people and fucking making random conversation the next couple months, but your t-shirt, you may want a t-shirt that says something about you without you
It says
having
fuck
to say it.
off.
Yeah. I don't know. That's where I was kind of thinking about clothing, but I still don't know if that's the right
That's what
thing.
we need to invent. We need to invent the first, like, truly, like, reversible T-shirt.
Ooh.
Because people that are sitting
Get
and
a
working
happy
at
face
home
and a frowny face.
ain't washing their clothes. They're just trying to wear the same shit every day, and they know people are noticing it on Zoom. They just
You
be
know what I'm
flipping
doing?
their shirt inside out or turning it around.
Nah,
I put
people
a
washing
hoodie
their
on my
clothes so they don't
t-shirt.
get coronavirus. What about like clothing that has UV light built into it?
Nice.
like
I
No.
can set them.
So
like
early
it's a
when I was
hat
talking about
that has a UV light under the bill, and it just shines on everything you look at.
and in 50 years you go blind. So earlier when I brought up, like, I don't think people change even when they want to. They just always go back to old habits. I really don't believe that in 2 years
That's
we'll be
GOP
talking
talk.
about we'll be talking about
That's GOP.
coronavirus anymore. No, I just think that, like, right now you have, like, the crazies that are, like, saying, like, you guys are communists for making us stay home. Like, those are crazy people, right? But even the normal people right now are, like, starting to think, like, how much am I willing to risk to, like, get back to work and, like, to get
Oh yeah,
like,
totally.
get back to normal. You know, like, I think eventually, we're gonna have a vaccine for this, and once there's a vaccine, it's gonna be just like the normal flu, where hundreds of way they like it. They think only about themselves, and it's going to go back. Like, my neighbors next door are a bunch of young girls that rent this house, and they have parties all the time. And I was talking to them across the fence one day, and they're like, they're working on their yard,
ladies.
and they're like, they're working on their yard, and they're like, there's nothing else to do since you can't go out to brunch and da 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 da. And I was like, it seems like you guys are having fun over here anyway. They're like, yeah, but it's not the same. They're like, as soon as things open back up, like, we're gonna be going brunch every weekend, out to drinks every weekend. Like, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but what if they lose their
Well,
jobs
hold
and
on
they
there,
can't
yeah,
afford to
yeah.
do that?
I don't think any of them have jobs that pay. Like, they have very.
I don't know. I'd say that that's anecdotal because I feel like there's definitely people like that out there, but I don't think they're
Good
the
word,
majority.
Mon.
Though.
That's a good strategy word, Mon.
Either
I
that
drop
or they
that all
just
the time.
say it,
God
but
damn
then
it.
they might not do it. What if? And here's the thing: is like, what if they like
Oh shit!
end up,
Better bring all these down.
you know, if no one else does that, will they be doing it? Like, if let's say the norm is now not to go to brunch every Saturday and get fucked up, like, will they still do that even though they say they're going to? Like, if it's no longer cool.
I don't know. I think you're thinking like an adult. There's so many non-adults out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, young people just do stupid shit. Does
But
not
that's
matter.
that's never changed though. Like, that's been like going on since.
I don't know. That's what I'm
50s,
saying. Like,
But here's
As
the
much
thing.
as
Think
we-
about this. Say, like, fewer restaurants open, and then the ones that are open become more expensive because of the demand. Suddenly you need reservations. Brunch is not going to be as accessible as it used to be. Like, that's
which
that's
is
the
going to
thing
make
we
it
have
more
to.
attractive.
Which
and more
yeah,
people are
but
gonna do it.
but that means they're not going to do it all the time because they literally can't get in to go do it. And that's what I think is going to happen. Is like places are going to like amp up exclusivity for like going out and being in a physical place is going to actually be a
Yeah.
luxury.
I mean,
I
here's
think
the
that's
flip
gonna
side of that
happen.
coin. Like,
I don't think.
I used to love going to uncles. I loved going down because when I lived closer to Denver, area. I love going to, like, you know, like the Highlands to eat and all that shit like that. But now that I'm in where I live now, none of that sounds enticing to me anymore. Having to deal with like crowds and traffic and parking and all that shit.
And, like, that's how the economy works too. Like, if there's only one uncle and it's super high demand, so the price goes up and it's not as accessible anymore, then another aunt opens up across the street. You know, like, that's just like that's how business works in a city. Like, if
like the
like,
uncle
we
aunt
swing,
thing that you
we
just did.
we
I
swing
appreciate
back
it.
and forth. So, like, and I was gonna say this earlier, but I don't know what the answer is. But, like, earlier when we were talking about how do we create things now to adapt to this, like, working, like, being at home and not being social. pandemic that's going on. It's almost like it's too late for that. It's like I think the people that are going to get rich that we never heard of before in the next 10 years are people that are taking advantage, like Cody was saying earlier, of the companies that are going out of business, and like new brands are going to pop up, new shopping experiences are going to pop up, but they're not necessarily going to look completely different. I think they're going to look very, very similar to what we currently have now. It's just over the last 3 years, all these small businesses and big businesses have gotten so strong because the economy has been so good. It's been very hard for new players to come in and make and survive. Where when they're at their weakest point, new players can come in and actually have a fighting chance to, like, you know, make their name and get big over the next successful 10 years before the next economy crash.
So even those companies, though, what I'm thinking too is like the companies that come out and are successful, it's going to be based on the reasons that consumers choose to buy what they do end up buying. So like coming out of this pandemic, I think something really interesting to look at from like a strategy perspective would even be like looking at like previous, like before all of this, what were the top purchase motivators across different things? So like I buy for the brand, I buy for status, I buy because of whatever, you know, and then like with what's coming out of this, I think you're going to see a huge increase in people choosing to buy products because of safety, because of versatility or utility, and then probably because of like more like the other side of that would be like really high luxury or value to those items, because they say they're more of a status symbol. If you haven't lost your job and you can still afford things like that, then you're probably like, it just amplifies the luxury around those products. You know what I mean? So like, I wonder if there's like a way that you can start to position, like if you were to create a brand, even just thinking of clothing, like it would be really cool if a clothing brand came out that was made entirely of like antibacterial material or something like that, but it was actually like high fashion. So it looked good, but it also like kept you safe. It didn't get like bacteria on it, like that kind of thing.
I wonder if something like that already exists.
I'm sure it does, but like right now brands are really struggling, like not so much anymore, but like face masks. The reason people don't want to wear face masks is just because up until now, I guess they just don't look cool. You know, like at the end of the day, people feel ridiculous wearing those face masks. So what you need to do, a brand like a Nike or a Supreme or whoever has to come out and be like, we're doing a whole line of face masks, and suddenly like people who are tastemakers and like into style, like that becomes a cool thing. Like the next collection of Yeezys, you should be able to buy a face mask, you know, and all of their models, all of their marketing should feature the person wearing the face mask as part of the lookbook, you know.
Face masks have been a thing of fashion already.
They have been for a while, but I think it's been more like, it needs to be like basically like push to the next, like it's been early adopters and like people who are really into fashion. I think you need to make it more like universal, you know,
more mainstream.
Yeah, more mainstream. Yeah,
but then it's
sleeping.
But then I just worry that it's like
again?
Not cool. Then like no one wants to pay a premium for it, you know. Then it's just like,
well, only because though, like face masks used to be sort of a fashion like accessory, and now they're like literally like you need to put one on so you don't get sick and die kind of thing. So people need to, like everyday people or people who are like late to the party need to be like, oh, face masks are actually pretty cool, and start wearing them. You know?
I
just
threw away the game. Yeah,
that was a bad idea. God damn it!
Oh, god damn it! What the fuck are you doing, man?
Damn.
So that was stupid of me. I had 10 million bill in the bank, and I was like, that's 10 million that I'm gonna give to Ali for 4 right now. God dang it!
Like I got a better idea.
I made a total Donald Trump move. I thought I was being smart.
Are we playing again, or is everybody getting off?
Let's do it one more time.
One more.
All right, one more.
Do one more. Only one more.
I mean, I would agree with that with the face mask thing. There's a large format printing company here in Denver that obviously doesn't have any business right now because no one's advertising, so they're not printing these huge like ad signs for people right now. So they just took their printers and they started printing face masks because they can print basically on a bunch of different materials. So they just started printing
I don't wear glasses, so I don't know nothing about that.
And they'll just undercut you. Like, if you design anything, like, it's just like someone's just gonna, like...
As long as you can build a brand out of it, though, like Supreme.
Yeah.
You know? Fucking charge $50 for a fucking t-shirt.
I mean, dude, you look at all these subscription services, like, Harry's or whatever that fucking one is where you, like, get stuff in the mail for, like, shaving. Those shavers are, like, not that great. They're just, like, Chinese fucking things. And,
but they come right
what's
to
up?
you, so you don't have
whatever.
to think about it.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's just a method in which you get it. Like, what's something that you, like, have to actively go out and get all the time that you don't have to, that you could change?
Dry
I don't
cleaning? But you don't need dry cleaning anymore because you don't wear nice clothes, you know?
Mm-hmm.
What about...
So I don't think the nice clothes thing is gonna. I don't think that's gonna be true. I think people are still fucking shallow as shit. Like right now, like one of the best memes is like the girl that's saying, "I like can't wait to go grocery shopping," and like picking out what she's gonna wear. You know, like she wants to look good going grocery shopping.
But no,
like,
I think that you got to read into that. I think that what that's about is like returning to normalcy. You know, like getting like I think things we used to take for granted. It's like now people are actually gonna like. It's like when you end a relationship or somebody dies. You know, the more things you think about of that old way of living or that thing you used to experience, the more stuff you miss. You know, you start to see all the mundane, boring things in a good way. Like it's like when you end a relationship, you're like you don't remember the bad stuff, you only remember the good stuff for a long time. I think that's the phase people are in right now.
I think we're just gonna value things differently. Like think about it like this: in like 1 year, right? Let's say in 1 year you walk into a grocery store and you see hand sanitizer there. Are you gonna like pass by it like you used to, or are you gonna be like?
I think I'll always grab some. I think I'll always buy
exactly,
some.
right?
I'll be like, oh, I need more in my car.
This is something that's constantly gonna like change us. Like my grandmother grew up in the war. I'm sure your guys' grandparents did too. And like their values were so different than ours because they've lived through this like crazy time. And my grandmother's German, so it was like different. Like they definitely got fucking hit hard. So it was like, yeah, she was like, you know, like bread and butter were her things. Like, and I was like, who gives a fuck about bread and butter? I want like pizza and like hamburgers and shit.
Hot dogs.
And like, yeah, but like it didn't like, it was like, it never clicked with me because we never have lived through anything like that, right? Like, that's why I think the fashion thing is people are gonna buy their expensive shit, but you're gonna look like a douchebag rather than like, you know, someone who has like, when everyone has money, but some people just have more, that's one thing. But when there's gonna be people out there who are like really hard, like, are getting hit really hard, and we've probably never seen anything like the way they're.
So I had a thought. I know that this pandemic's pretty bad on the economy, but like, do you guys think that like because the entire world is suffering, the economies won't be as bad? You know what I mean? Like if
I think there's going to be a
poor,
bigger. There's going to be a much higher concentration of wealth than there used to be. That's why that thing I was saying about earlier, where people can basically like roll over like their expense. If somebody has the option to go and buy things, it's basically like a not a sales tax, but I guess it's a sales tax. But it's like if I don't lose my job, which means I can still buy dumb shit like video games and clothes and whatever, anytime I make those purchases, it rolls over into something that then goes to people who actually need it, or more importantly, people who like don't have traditional jobs anymore because they're doing things to like improve your community or the arts or whatever. And so like if I get the benefit of that happening automatically, so it's convenient, and I can write that off on my taxes because and then I get a financial benefit at the end of the year, that's two good reasons that I can support people who are making a difference by doing things that they used to not really be able to make money to do, you know? So like that's kind of an interesting thing to think about.
God damn it.
I just think, dude, like, our kind of like I was saying with the hand sanitizer and shit, like that kind of stuff will, like, I thought about it the other day and I was like, look, I can have all the things in the world, but like for the rest of my life, I will always value
toilet paper and hand sanitizer.
And toilet paper, hand sanitizer, things. Well, not even toilet paper because I'm not like most of the people. I need some obviously, but like Hand
don't wipe.
sanitizer is like the thing that will always keep me safe and like healthy, and same with like Clorox wipes and face mask and things like that. I think people are going to be really just like germaphobes. Like, I was always a germaphobe, but this is like next level, and I think everybody is probably OCD level fucking germaphobe at this point. And I don't know, like, I don't know if that's going to change for our generation, dude. It might be like the people like younger than us who are like, oh, you want to get fucked up and do whatever, but like those people don't have money anyways. You know, they're fucking still, they're just out of college. They're living paycheck to paycheck. You know, like I think there's something interesting in the fact that like we're gonna value certain things for the rest of our lives now that keep us safe and healthy, and it's like, because you're gonna think back like, okay, if I want to buy $200 shoes, I'll be like, do I really need those? Remember that time I couldn't leave the house for 2 months? What am I gonna do with fucking $200 shoes?
Yeah.
I think you're thinking like an adult, and then I think that younger people are still gonna continue to grow and continue to do dumb things, and we're gonna get phased out very quickly. And your grandma that valued bread and butter, she lived through a time that she literally didn't have enough food on her plate, and everybody didn't have enough food on their plate. We lived through a time where we talked about maybe getting sick a lot, but we are sitting in our, someone, was it one of you guys that said today, like, or showed that meme that was like, we're being forced in quotes, to sit in our house with our 55-inch TVs and our air conditioning and our internet, and like, it's not really that bad. And I think if we're gonna forget about it really quickly, not to be like,
I think the only thing that's bad, and I could see why those crazy motherfuckers are out protesting. So like, I think some people are really suffering right now, where they're unable to like provide for their family because they're unable
people
to
are
work,
suffering.
you know?
And Josh, even to your point about young people, all the kids who are about to graduate, anyone who's in college or younger, they literally, like, all college kids had to go home, so they're not even getting to like live like a college life right now. And then high school kids and whatever, like, they had to do the same thing or didn't even get to graduate this year. So like, they're actually getting hit much harder than people our age are. If anything, we're probably right in the sweet spot of not having to deal with it as bad as anybody else.
Honestly, that's what I feel like. I feel like that. So yeah.
Because like,
I mean,
we're old enough to have decent careers where like maybe we're a little more established, a little more important to our companies, which is great. But also like, we're all kind of young enough like where none of us have kids, and Gen X, anybody who's a little older than us, they're the ones with kids who are now having to work and take care of their kids. They can't handle all that. You know what I mean? So like, we're kind of right in the sweet spot of having like just enough responsibility with work and stuff that we can like maintain that, but we don't have anything else going on. You know, we're not graduating from college. We don't have kids we have to teach while we work. Like, we're kind of like,
that was random.
dang it.
I just kept hitting R2 until I like felt like it was time to let go, and I just hit X.
But I think like Gen Z is already a generation that like decided they were gonna like save and do things that millennials didn't really do to prepare, and now they've gone. They were basically born after 9/11. They saw the recession. Now they're going through this. I think that you're going to see like kids be much more responsible than our generation.
I do think that even they say that like studies show that like even like kids these days are more worldly than like even our parents.
Yeah,
even
they're more
too,
prepared.
Because,
you know.
Yeah, like could have been like with the whole thing with like climate change and all that stuff. Like young people are more like more visible to, or like at least they're more perceptive of it than like old people. So
for sure.
I mean, young people still do stupid shit, but I think there's definitely
there's always going to be people that do stupid shit.
One thing that I've been hearing about a lot through like these strategy meetings and shit is like younger people with the advent of like social media. It used to be cool for us to post things on Facebook of us being drunk and doing whatever, but now everyone's so about their online image because that's all that people know about certain people. Like that people don't drink as much. Like Vegas is hurting because people don't go there like they used to with our generations and like drink their asses off and shit. And all these kids are like going to bars and just dressing up and being seen and not spending any money. So like that's one thing that I've been crazy. Like I mean they're drinking and shit, but like not like blacking out like we used to. You know, like that's what it's funny is like if you I work with a bunch of people who are way younger than me. They don't drink at all. They're like they'll like have one drink like at a party and that's
they're
it.
allowed to get high in public, and we never were.
That's true. Yeah, I know, but still, like, but that, like, I feel like we used to wild out and black out and do stupid shit in college and stuff. But like, kids nowadays are like a little bit more mature. They're more about their image and how they're conveyed, and they whether they care about like humankind and organic shit and fucking animal rights and all that. Whether they do it, they pretend like they do. Most of them don't give a fuck, but like they just like pretend like they do because it's like a vision or like it's like it's all about their image. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with that. I also think one of the and this is the last time I'll say I'll be like the devil's advocate thing, but like one of the things that I feel like I learned at Integer that used to piss me off is we always like did all this strategy work and like put these creative ideas together that were like idealistic. Like this is where we're going and this is what young people want and this is what millennials are doing. Like we used to always put all these ideas together and put all this work into them and get really excited about them because they felt really, really good. Pitch them to the client and the client would always come back and be like, no, this idealistic version of America that you guys are pitching us doesn't make us any money. We need to aim at middle America. The people that spend the most money are still buying Doritos and Oreos and want to stay at home and not exercise and not care about the planet. Like they're the ones spending all the money. And that even goes back to like talking about like my neighbors and stuff. The people that don't make money and go from paycheck to paycheck spend the most money in the United States. And they like always will, because like I think that's like human nature is when it's like if you don't feel like you're gaining anything by saving, you just keep spending. Like saving penny after penny just doesn't feel good, so it's like why not? I'm just gonna buy this next thing.
That's a great point though. So if you were to do to Ali's point, if this isn't just about making money to what you're saying, if this is about actually helping people, how can you make those people who feel like they're going penny to penny or whatever, how do you make them feel like they're actually like doing something that long term is going to help them, you know? Like how do you add value to that so that you give them that little bit extra like endorphin rush that it's like, hey, I'm not putting anything away, but I also didn't waste all my money this month, you know?
Right. Oh man, I had an idea once.
I don't believe it.
I had this idea once that was about like bragging about how much you saved. So like
ooh, like an Apple Watch competition, but it's how much you save.
Yeah, it was kind of like that idea where like you round things and you save that money, right? But it's like where it's an app where like you kind of invite your friends to like your bet. It's like a bet type of thing, like where you guys say like I think I could save this much money in this amount of time, and it becomes like a competition. I can't remember how I figured like what the details were in the original idea, but it became like a game with your friends on saving for something, but it was saving towards something. It wasn't just how much did I save this month. It was like I'm gonna save up for this thing, and I think it was like funded by advertising because like when people would put in there like I want to save to take a trip to Florida, like Florida's a bad example. I'm gonna save to buy a PlayStation or whatever, right? Like Sony could see that. And they could help reward that person week by week for saving by like sending them Blu-rays or something, you know, like or like, you know, stuff like that, where basically the brands could jump in and basically reward people for saving for their products and stuff. I can't remember, but I think that's not a bad idea. I just don't know. We talk about the future and helping people out. I just don't think most people think that way. Oh shit.
Do you guys think that like from like socially or like culturally, like we're just kind of like we're trailing like the way Europeans live, like we're like maybe 15, 20 years behind them.
We are. I mean, we don't
If it feels that way.
We haven't evolved, you know. Like we got too far ahead for a bit, and then we were like, we're the best. But then when you're at the top, you get lazy, you know. So we just stopped trying. Life basically got too easy, and we stopped evolving and improving. That's why like all these reports and stuff say Germany is going to come out of this better than anybody because they have social safety nets and they have over-tested and they take care of their people. But there's also like an acceptance of a certain level of socialism to do that, you know?
Yeah. I mean, like we only start talking about like democratic socialism since like Bernie's like what maybe like 2012, you know. And like finally, like this election is probably the biggest we've heard people talk about it. Really.
Yeah, that's a buzzwordy thing right now. I listened to a podcast about that. I think it was Freakonomics, and they had a guy on there that actually helped Bernie in his last race. Mm-hmm. He was like his campaign, one of his top campaign people. He didn't help him this time. But he did last time, and he was talking, and he's like someone that studies socialism or whatever, and he was talking about how Republicans use socialism the wrong way when they talk about it negatively, and they were saying Democrats like Bernie, like rejected this idea that he's a democratic socialist, but this round of elections, he actually accepted it and like and pushed it. Because they found out in the last race that drawing up the buzz around that word was a good thing for him, even though what he's proposing isn't technically even what socialism is. Oh my God, how many of these you fucking got? Let's go.
Yeah, Jesus, man. Like, what? I've got nothing else. I have nothing. Like, nothing.
I got mine all frustrated. He's like, I got nothing else. Especially because he just gave me the card that he stole from me the last round. That was so funny. And I used that to collect rent because I didn't have a red card. Damn, that was cold. That's why I was laughing.
Josh, to your point, like if Trump can lean into the deplorable thing and be like, all these deplorables, here we go. Like, why can't Bernie do that for socialism? You know? Like own the word in a way, kind of thing. Like it's like you build up momentum by people actually embracing what other people hate, you know?
Yeah.
But it's funny though because like I don't know, it's like doing it for the wrong reasons though, you know? Like
yeah, it's hard because I battle with that all the time because there's times where I'm like, people are too dumb and we just need to tell them what to do, which
You're
is like
very cynical, Josh.
We need it though. We need it. We need someone to test against our ideas.
Most people are dumb.
Here.
Well, everyone's gonna steal our ideas because Cody's fucking streaming this.
Nobody's
I
watching.
do agree with Josh though. I think
this is the only way we're taking
too fucking
notes.
stupid.
Yeah, most people are dumb. Like me and Ollie, we used to talk about this all the time, right? It's like, why are we, like when you think about us being successful at our jobs, it's like we're more successful than most people out there. Like we are above average, whether that's income or not. And it's like we forget that sometimes. Like when we talk about big ideas or like when people, like you see the articles in Ad Age about people that work at agencies and how they're not relatable to the mass majority of consumers. And it's because most people are not, and I mean, I don't mean people are dumb in general. Like I'm not calling people retards. It's like, people are just not, they don't think the same way as we do because we live in a certain area, we surround ourselves with certain people, we have a certain level of education, and we, like you said earlier, we are on the cutting edge of technology and trying to stay ahead, so we listen to politics and like we push ourselves in all these areas where most people are like, that stuff's for like highbrow fuckheads, and I don't care about it.
Sissies. Well, okay, this brings up a great point though. Like we need to probably define who our audience actually is when we talk about ideas, because if we're just talking to every dumbass who goes to Kentucky Fried Chicken, then then it's just like dumbest idea for the most people. Face masks that look like something that have sports teams on them. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like if you like we need to figure out like who is the specific group we're going after. I think there's going to be more opportunity to actually make money or to like grow a business if you go after people who are in a higher social status after we come out of this. People who haven't lost their jobs, people who still have just like money to spend basically. So you're looking at a higher educated audience. But I'm sure those people are going to feel guilty or have guilt that they still have money, and even if they're spending it, there's going to be a degree of like secrecy and that kind of thing. So like how do you make them feel like when they're spending money and taking care of themselves that they're also taking care of other people?
I don't think so. I think you're wrong on that one. I think it's going after the majority of people
But they won't
in a
have
way
money.
that we're making. Exactly, they don't have the money, so you go after them in a way where you use them to make money from other people. So like, just like with the cable companies, basically, like we're selling our data to make money, or like Fortnite's the perfect example.
Oh, you
So
want to
they
be like Cambridge.
No. Fortnite's the best example because Fortnite gave away a free concert and a free game to anyone that wanted to see it, and basically and so everyone was obsessed with it, talked about it. It was social currency. It was cool. But what they did is they got a lot of people on their game that could then spend $2 here, $5 there, like little chunks of change. And who knows what they did with the data with the people that are in that game, right? But like that, or like apps. Apps are free, right? Until you get in there, and it's like 2 cents here, 5 cents here, whatever it is, or they're selling your data to somebody else. So I think the big thing in apps, if you're gonna really, really make it, is to give it away for free to the mass majority of people.
Freemium.
And then
freemium's
figure out
just
little ways
so-
to charge.
It's just,
Dude, but Warzone is killing it. It's a freemium game. It's
It
like
is.
you gotta you gotta provide value, and then just make it so that, like, you have to build the respect and confidence from people for them to like care about it, and then they won't mind paying money for things in
Sure.
it. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's I mean, honestly, dude, I think of myself, like, I think, like, we're all very smart people, and, like, we all see bullshit because we all work in advertising, but, like, I gotta be honest, dude, Peloton is amazing, and I don't know if it's, like, it's just a good product because it's, like, yeah, it's expensive. I could get an exercise bike for cheaper, but, like, it's well done. I feel good about it. It's, like, one of those things that I feel like, those classes are good, all that. Tesla, same thing. Like, what I was like thinking about these two companies specifically, they're both very similar in the sense that, like, even though they're premium products and they're like the opposite of freemium or whatever, you still like want to support it, you flaunt it, you like feel good about it. I don't know.
That's the power of like a brand, though.
Yeah.
I
no
wonder
one's
if-
bragging about their Nordic Trek.
I wonder
Exactly.
if you could take the power of like brand, like a cult around a brand like that, and then combine that with like a freemium model in a way.
Yeah.
So like basically, like, what if you took like freemium and you applied it to like clothes, for example? So like it's like, go to this site or whatever, and every month we'll send you like a new outfit, and it's a basic outfit or whatever. But if you pay an extra like $5, $10, $20, you're gonna get like the better T-shirt or the better pants or whatever. And so suddenly, like, you're like upselling people, but you're giving away like a service for free.
Yeah. Or if it's
I'm just
like,
worried about fashion, man. Overall, like, that's one thing I can't predict right now. Like, I feel like that's the hardest one to predict. Like, I
What
think
about
it's gonna
food?
be
You
like,
could do it with food. You could be like,
Yeah.
we're giving away like free meals to anybody who signs up, and then for an extra $5, $10, we'll send like an extra meal or like an extra like side or whatever. Like, that's another thing you could do.
well, there's also this thing about supporting local businesses and stuff, right? Like, and people are buying gift cards and stuff for breweries or places that aren't open to help them during this time, and then they'll get they'll get it back when they reopen. You can go in and use that gift card or whatever, but for now you're showing your support to them. But it's not like you're giving them money, you're just like giving them like almost like they're giving you an IOU.
Oh my
like,
god.
Right.
and I feel like there's something interesting there too, like
Yeah, that is cool.
Guys, you
Like
guys know
showing
like
your
2 cards I
support.
just got? I got 2 $1 million cards.
No, you can't.
But I am interested in the freemium for sure, but I also was thinking about what these brands like Tesla and Peloton do to people, where they're like, dude, like, all my friends like were like, oh, dude, yeah, I got a Peloton, you gotta add me, and they're all like super jazzed about it. I'm super jazzed about it. It's a good product. So is like the Tesla thing and like Apple. But obviously those are like physical products, and we're not going to build certain physical things. But is there like an app version of that, or
Hey.
a premium thing where you can reach a large audience?
We've been talking about like just
Quibi.
service for people, right?
Yeah.
But like, I mean, I'm thinking, when do we like look into like vices? What can we provide, like as vices for people? Because that will never like be obsolete.
Vices?
Like Pornhub.
Oh,
Like
Like
nicotine.
porn.
oh,
Yeah,
fine.
like even
Let's
like
start
Pornhub,
making
like,
porn.
But no, like how did Pornhub become so big? It's like it becomes like
Because
it's like
they-
a household name now.
Yeah,
But it was
because they
free.
like. Yeah, but they also like there were a ton of those sites. They basically made it like more innovative. They started doing more things
Yeah.
that were like more mainstream, and they basically
Right?
took
Yeah.
Pornhub's like the only one that's like actually like kind of considered mainstream. You know,
Yeah. It's like a household name now. It's crazy.
nobody's gonna be like,
But then,
"Yo,
like-
what were y'all doing on X Hamster last night?"
But I mean, like, even with like, but
or whatever.
even with the pandemic and all that stuff, like I feel like the like a porn website like Pornhub, it could survive pretty much anything. Sort of like the internet getting shut down. Or
Yeah.
regulated.
People
I mean,
always want to be bait.
Pornhub is like Domino's in the sense that they're like doing things like Domino's is on the PlayStation, it's on your phone, it's on fucking Apple TV. I heard now, like everything. There's like Domino's is like everywhere. It's like even on your like home assistant or whatever. And Pornhub kind of did the same thing. They were trying to make it like
yeah.
not a
But
thing
they-
that you hide.
Yeah, but they did a good job though, right? But even like compared to like Domino's, like pizza's not regulated, but porn still is, and they're still able to kind of like do the right thing and still, still both like succeed with all these regulations and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
What if we do like a gaming version of Bang energy drinks? And it's like you can get on and join parties, and it's like with hot people. Hot ladies will play Fortnite with you. $7 million, Jesus.
So, 3.
Michael Jackson. Ooh la la, ah wee wee. Ooh la la.
Yeah, like
ah,
liquor's
wee,
gonna
wee.
There
be around
is
for-
there. This is kind of a joke that goes off of that, but I honestly think that this could be a thing one day.
Oh shit! Someone canceled.
But
got
like
that
like a
cashola.
dating app called One Night Stand, and it's like a combination of like
Grinder for straight people.
it's like a combination of Grindr or Tinder and Snapchat.
Tinder.
So it's literally just digital. You never meet anyone in person unless you want, but you browse people like you do in Tinder or Grindr, I assume. And you you browse people, you see pictures of them, you see a profile, but then all you do is exchange like fucking
Ooh.
dirty text and nudie pictures with
Ooh,
each other.
Josh.
That's like
What
the
about like
basis of
what about
I
the
got an idea
Amazon
that's
of
built on
dating
that.
apps? What about the Amazon of dating apps? So it's like
What is
instead
that?
of like going left and
That's
right and swiping, you can get
smorgasbord.
on and you can be like, I want 4 stars and up, and I want
Yeah.
5'7" or taller.
Dude, there's an idea behind that though, because
Yeah.
there was an article I read recently where they were profiling the University of Texas UT, talking about how like
You
it's so
fucker.
expensive to go there that a lot of the college chicks are actually having sugar daddies to pay for everything in Texas, around in Austin. It's like a popular
Oh,
thing.
I've heard about that in like Florida too. Like
Wow.
it's like an open thing. Like they have some kind of I
Yeah.
don't know
Yeah,
if it's an
there's-
app or a website where it's literally
There's a
set up
site
for like
supposedly
college
called
kids.
Sugar Babies where
Yeah, it's terrible.
old men. Yeah.
But they
But-
basically control everything they do.
But imagine turning a service like that into like mainstream thing like Pornhub, because I don't think, I mean, like the
Huh?
realities of it is that like it's expensive to go to college, and like even as a college kid you can't pay for all this shit. But then nothing, make it where it's nothing wrong with to have like a sugar daddy. It's mutual, It's
Well,
an
what
agreement.
about why can't I, as a 31-year-old man, have a sugar daddy?
I know, right? Exactly.
You are a fucking old
There's a
man.
sugar daddy out there for you, Cody. There's a sugar daddy out there for anybody.
What if there's like the cougar version?
Oh,
60-year-old
100%.
woman.
I had a buddy that kind of
I
went off
mean,
the deep end in college
who
and
has that
like
money?
disappeared for a
Who
while.
fucking has
And
a lot of money? Ollie? I know you got
we
a lot of
found
money.
out that he was
I don't
living in
know.
New York with like a sugar mama that he met, and
I
like
think we
she
need
bought all these
to-
tattoos for him. And
I don't
stuff. It
know.
was
There's
crazy.
something interesting about this freemium thing. It's just it's gotta be so damn good that it's like, fuck. I want to spend
No, no.
money.
I feel like we could, the Bunny Ranch, or like prostitution is legal in Las Vegas and Nevada. We could make it happen with like an app of some sort. Right up the industry.
Like Backpage. Isn't
I don't know
Backpage
if I want to
do
do that. I'm out.
that? Josh got quiet. He's like,
Just like,
Wait, what am I
I'm
doing?
taking notes.
What am I doing?
he's like getting stats from both the ladies.
from all the ladies at the ranch.
I don't know why that was so funny to me, because I think I read it in Josh's voice.
I have 2 cards on the board and then 0 cards in my hand.
You should get, what, like 5 cards now then? If you have 0 in your hand? Yeah, if you, instead of picking 2, you get like a shitload, I think.
Yeah, you get 5. At the end of the day, this is a Gary Vaynerchuk like thing that rubbed off on me, I guess. But at
Gary
the end of the
Vaynerchuk
day,
rubbed off on you.
it's like I don't know how likely it is that we get somewhere trying to figure out like how we're gonna make the most money or like what is the problem in the world we're gonna solve. Because I think those things are
Gary
so...
Vaynerchuk rubbed off on you. What is that? What are you talking about?
Hold on, it's like those are so random. Like being able to predict the future is so hard that like, otherwise everyone would do it, right? So this is the part that I'm getting to with Gary Vaynerchuk. I think if we're gonna be successful in something, it's not trying to predict the future. It's fuck you, Ollie. It's trying like finding something that we think is really cool and we're passionate about, and like just doing it, and not worrying about when it's gonna make a bunch of money or if it's the most popular thing. It's just like something that we are passionate about, that we put the time and effort into it, and then if it ends up taking off and making us a ton of money, then that's great. And if it doesn't, then we don't feel like shit for wasting.
Waiting
hours
on
of our life.
Mondalisa.
Oh, my bad.
Let's take bets on what we think Mon's doing every time he doesn't know it's his turn.
I bet one of you guys will get guess right. I'm
definitely-
browsing Reddit.
Oh my god.
Are you?
Commenting away.
yeah.
You're Reddit Meister.
That's where I get my daily
Aw,
intake
your
of
breath
content
stinks.
these days.
Oh, your breath stinks. I just won, bitches.
You did? Oh, shit.
Oh man.
I don't know why I charged you guys. I was thinking about that. I was like, why didn't I just end the game?
Damn.